Okay, hold up. All right, hold on. Scarlet, boom. Okay. Check, mic check. Check, mic check. All right, this is a new one. This is definitely a new one for us. Um, all right, my fault, yeah. My fault, yeah. What's going on, world? What's going on? Can't Focus Podcast, alive here, direct effect. You feel me? Tap in if you're here. This is the first time we're going live from this channel. And in a little bit, I'll definitely give you the rundown as to why, because there's absolutely a reason why we're not just out here. And if you are here, if you could let me know if you could hear me clearly. I know my camera right now is doo doo, but as soon as we get off of Instagram, we will be. I'll switch over to my better camera. Hopefully, it works. Uh, yo, what's up, yo? We got Shalon, we got Manny, the Night Owls. The Night Owls are here. Oh, it's live. It's live. Wow, first time on the channel. We already got a few people in here. Yo, first time on the channel. We got a few people on already on the live. This is kind of nice. This is kind of nice. Keep sending them over. Just want to give some encouragement. All right. Anyway, so yeah, so I appreciate y'all so much. So basically, what was happening is that March, just to give y'all some, inside you know, inside baseball behind the scenes type of situation. In March, we had our highest month of watch hours, views, all of that stuff. It was the highest that we've ever had it on the channel. We actually got very close to getting to that place where YouTube starts paying us, which is incredible. Our average views on our videos was give or take 500 to 1,000. We was doing really well in March, and we were pumping out videos like multiple a week. Then June hits, and YouTube just doesn't like us anymore. We're back to like 10 views per video, stuff like that. It was crazy. Um, so we looked into it as best as we can, and we saw that retention rates, when you get to a certain level, YouTube starts penalizing you for certain things but doesn't tell you. And retention rates is definitely one of those things. And uh, as y'all know, like, we go live with a small group of y'all to mainly to connect with y'all. The lives that actually don't do us many favors. We just try to do it because we love to connect with whatever group we got, and it's a lot of fun for us. And then we make solo videos out of that. That's the only reason we do it. But then we found out that YouTube includes that into the algorithm. So it's so we decided to just try this, a new channel, only for lives, dedicated for lives only. So therefore, it doesn't affect our channel, because it seems like our lives may have been affecting the overall views and stuff. So we'll see how this goes. But we didn't want to give the lives because we love y'all. So whatever whatever group we got, we love y'all. Listen, anyway, enough of that boring stuff. Uh there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to talk about. This is the first time we've been live for a little while. Apologies, we meant to go live earlier, but we had some hiccups, technology issues and things like that. But the guys are getting people over here, and we're going to be starting in just a few minutes. But we're going to be talking about a few things. Obviously, I think top of the list is everything like political, and that's what I feel like that's what the rest of the year is going to be about. You're going to see a lot more like things politics wise and stuff, because it's that time of year. Tis the season. You have, immunity deals going out here from, our court on high, that is supreme. You have Biden just, has a small group of anarchists building against him. And then you got Trump is out here telling lies as always. And Democrat Party is split. in the ninth inning of all of this whole thing, and then we also have other things as well, like Project 2025 and Donald Trump, and what exactly are the implications of all of that. We don't claim to be. This is not necessarily a political outlet. We don't claim to be experts. A lot of y'all in the chat be sunning us all the time. Please continue to. But like it's these are things that affect us, and this is the time especially to be paying attention to what's going on. I put out a recent video, and there's certain things that I want to I suppose clarify. I do believe that voting is important, and I don't want to undermine that. And I also don't want to put Trump on a platform as I criticize Biden and the Democratic Party. While I want that video, I want it to be very focused on that. That does not mean at all that I am pro-Trump or pro-Republican. I just want to be clear about that. And I also do think that voting is important, which is why I'm frustrated with what the demographic is looking like right now. What the landscape looks like. So we're talking about all of that, as well as Adam 22 did a recent interview, and he brought in Pop Smoke's killer. Well, he is a convicted murderer, and allegedly murdered Pop Smoke from Brooklyn. Not Pop Smoke. But yeah, like
Mic check.
Yo, what up? What up?
You can hear me?
I hear you clearly, loud and clear.
Yeah. They saying that one of Pop Smoke's homies is in LA right now. Put a story up. Took a picture on Manchester. Put a story up with a Pop Smoke song on.
Jeez. And
you want to know where I heard that from?
Where you heard that from?
Adam's Instagram channel, the No Jumper channel. So tell me he's not instigating.
This is ridiculous, man.
That man could well overbeat it, just whatever, show
and
love.
Wait. And dude is in LA?
Huh?
That dude that would put the story up is in LA?
Yeah.
You think he's gonna be next on the interview?
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, he out there, right?
I didn't think about that.
I don't know why Kendrick and everyone that was on that stage just doesn't storm Adam's little lot that he has or whatever.
Because quiet is kept, they love the attention.
Bro, this is stupid. This is beyond. This is another level of beyond disrespectful. Anyway, we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that in a second. But yeah. So far, definitely tap in, y'all. Let me know. How are you feeling about this election cycle? How are you feeling about this whole immunity thing? What are your thoughts on these things? Love to get your thoughts. We're definitely going to talk about it, the three of us, in a bit, but just want to get your thoughts in it as well, because I could get if we feel a little uneasy. There's a lot going on all at the same time. Not to mention that we have a former president that is now a convicted felon. This is kind of weird. There's been no sentencing on that yet, right?
I don't think there ever will be now.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, you're right. Stupid question. But why don't we get started?
Probably
Why
because
don't
we
we
ain't
get
from Martin.
started? We
By the
can't be
way,
from
behind the scenes stuff, I sent you a bunch of stuff. I sent myself the Kano music page, a bunch of stuff
Yeah.
from the Can't Focus page, and it got all the things that you need. So you can open it and look it through that if you want.
Okay, let me go through that.
It's a little unorganized though, because I sent it as I seen it.
Yeah, I see that.
Wow. Could have said thank you.
Nah, thank you. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
All right, bet. Yeah, I got him.
Better have.
Oh yeah. Also, Busta Rhymes went off on. This is hilarious, man.
I got everything right.
Give me a second. Let me just double check.
I even got some breaking news in there.
Yeah, the
Got
first
some.
one I don't know about.
Yeah, that's that breaking news.
Oh, okay.
Did you read it?
No, not yet. I'm just going through everything.
Read it out loud for us.
Yeah, all right. Philadelphia radio station parts ways with host who admitted she was given questions in advance from Joe Biden's team to ask during the interview. Yo.
It's Hillary Clinton all over again.
Yeah.
What's wrong with these guys, man?
Yeah. Okay, we want you to ask this. And here's how much we're going to give you.
It's a shame, man. It's a shame.
Yo, this is hilarious. I can't, bro. Like, I don't care. Like, you know what my video does. Oh, we out to 50 views. All right, let's go, video.
Oh,
Little engine that could. But I said that, bro. This is a joke. This is like what an actor. This is not looking good, man. This is just not look good, bro.
it's not. It's not looking good at all, man. And oh, I forgot to send you the Project 25 thing. I'm gonna send you that right now.
Okay. When you gotta give the questions, did you see the interview he did with George Stephanopoulos?
Yeah. It's for the Project 2025. It's just the image, but that's better than nothing.
10-4.
Yeah, I watched it. I did watch it. I wait for the segment to come on to talk about it. I'm gonna let Martin on stage here. Martin, what up?
Yo.
Oh, audio is nice. Audio is good. The three of us, we locked in today. Here we go. Let's go. Y'all want to get right into it? Someone pick a topic, any topic.
Crispy. All right. Why don't we get into? Oof, man.
Well, I don't know if we did this already. Did we intro in?
We did not do that. Great point. Great
All
point.
right.
All right.
Well,
Let's
go
do
ahead,
that.
Joe.
Let's
Take
do
it
that.
away.
All right, y'all. So, what is up, y'all? Welcome. What up, world? It's the Can't Focus podcast where we focus on everything and nothing at the same time. I go by the name of Alive. You can find me at Alive Raps.
What up? It's your boy Kano Music at Kano Music.
It sound like
know.
Ron Isley or something.
Yeah.
I wish.
What it is, what it do, what it be like, what's good, what's hood. It's your boy Martin Hopeful. You can find me at Martin Hopeful.
And once again, we are on a new channel. New. All of our lives will be focused here. And you'll get the individual videos at our other channel. Like basically, this is only for lives. That's all we're doing. So
It's 2 a.m. I'm getting in about to check my message.
what is happening?
Ron Isley.
Oh, okay.
Nah.
I don't
feel
know
you.
many songs from him. That's what it is. I don't know.
That's the one with him and the guy we can't talk about no more.
Voldemort.
I'll still talk about him. R. Kelly.
This guy's crazy.
Yo,
I believe I can fly.
we might get demonetized, bro. Stop doing it.
My bad.
Got blanked by the FBI.
You
All
remember
I
that?
wanted was a
chicken wing.
Can't say that now, 2024.
They blanked me in my blanky blank.
I wasn't singing that part. You almost got me.
Almost.
I'm an ally.
You stupid. All right. So, why don't we get into the whole like?
Actually, because you talk a lot. So this
Go for it.
That
Go
was a
for
joke.
it.
That was
Go
a
for it.
joke.
No.
Love. No, I was gonna say there's 4 people in here, new channel. I just want to thank the 4 people that's in here. And if as it increases, I keep thanking people because this channel had like 1 subscriber this morning.
Yeah, for real. So for all of y'all to come through, this is really awesome. So why don't we get into everything political? What do y'all say?
Knock everything out the way. All right, let's do that.
I feel like they're all connected in some way or another, like in a kind of a jumbled mess of
Well, let's
things.
start at the beginning.
Yeah. So, all right. So President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump recently had a debate. I'm just going through these to see which clips to get for this. Yeah, they recently had a debate, and boy, oh boy, did it not go well. Mainly for one Joe Biden. And it's important to stress that it's not that Donald Trump did incredibly well in this debate. It's just that Joe Biden did so poorly that Donald is, coming up a few points higher.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to do like a line or a bump or something, man.
What?
You coming off sleepy right now.
Oh, am I?
You should have introed it, Kano.
Nah, I'm good. I'm here. I'm here. Just passing the ball.
Did you take a bump?
This is just my natural state of being. I can't wait till I'm 79. He's talking when he's not supposed to be, Coach. But yeah, he dropped the ball. He did. Biden. Look, it was very clear. Look, all right, let me set this up, y'all. Biden was like, and Trump, they were close in polls. In some polls, he was losing, but by like a point or 2.
Right,
you know what I mean?
That much.
And we're talking about a Trump who just got convicted of how many 17 counts of felonies, 19 mad counts of felonies. My son was Count Dracula of felonies, right? And like he going into, bruh, this is an easy. Everybody talking about, yo, they better not debate. If they debate, Trump gonna get washed. Trump gonna get washed. And we walk in, everyone's thinking it's light work. We thinking it's gonna be an easy victory. And then Father Time walks in there.
Grandfather clock with a mirror.
They said, "Hold on, Joe. It's about time you get washed up."
And then Joe Biden responded, "Hey there, old friend," because they grew up together.
What is it? Is it 2020? No, sir, it's not. That's why I came to wash you up.
And now Joe is looking at the Democratic Party like, what is this, a 20v1? All right, y'all.
That's funny.
That was a good one.
Because that's what it is right now for him. Listen, let's get to it. Let's get right into it. So let's skip over the debate because that was a few weeks ago, right? Look, we summarized it. It wasn't good. It wasn't good for him.
Yeah.
He walked away and he dropped in the polls. So immediately, what happens after that? I know you have graphics, Joe. Please share them as the conversation goes.
Yeah.
So
the graphic that I got is not really relevant.
Okay, my bad. You know, just you. I just don't want you to forget. So we're gonna discuss.
You better,
While Cano's on a roll, you just put out the PowerPoint.
Just make sure you in the game.
Just put out the PowerPoints.
So what happens is he drops in the polls. I think even like most recently, some polls had him down 10 points. On average, he's down 2 to 8. 2 is okay. 2 is manageable. 8 in July is crazy work. 8 in July. So that's not the only thing I shared though. In there. Really, but
is that slow-mo or is that him actually talking?
No, that's him moving.
I thought there was slow-mo to make fun of him, but if that's really him, dang man, like
yeah, you got nothing.
He need to do a bump.
You got right before it.
This one?
That one is where he's challenging him for a new debate.
Oh, okay. So I didn't know that's where you were going.
You don't see how that could be relevant to us talking about the debate.
I want a rematch.
So Donald Trump actually is asking for a rematch anytime, anywhere, any place. So after the debate happens, first of all, visually, what goes viral is Jill, Empress, that's her name, Jill Biden?
Yeah.
Empress Jill Biden grabs my son by the arm and starts orienting him so we don't have one of those moments where he's lost. Because you know how he do. He be like,
yeah.
There's no way out. Like,
Jill, I see a wall over here. Dang, Donald Trump built a wall. He did it, Jill. He did it, Jill. He did it.
You get it? He built the wall. So, yeah. I mean, so she guiding him along like a health aide. He just walking through the joint. It's horrible visuals, man. And it didn't help that he had a cold. So he was talking like this the whole time. I've done a lot, kiddos. You know, and back in my day. Yeah, and it was bad. It was bad, bro. I think we was in the group chat, and Martin was like, "Why is he talking with that voice?"
I was like, "Is he trying to be wise? Is this his Father Time voice?
Like Dumbledore, Harry. It comes a time, Harry.
You know what I mean? He really does sound like Dumbledore in his deathbed. Like that's really
so Gandalf the loser over here, he wants to like.
Yo, you're on one tonight, bro.
He got me tight. He got me upset. So Gandalf the loser, everybody's like, hold up. Yo, you dropped in the polls. You did not look good in that debate. Look, we like you. We appreciate you. You was the vice president for Obama. You delivered Pennsylvania in 08 for Obama. You were pivotal in his victory. You were a great, vice president. You were always supportive. You were loyal. You never came out and said anything against them. And then when we needed you, you cleaned up for Trump and you took over. We got a lot of respect for you, but maybe it's time to step down. And that's what they was trying to do at first, was like hint to him. Like, hey, buddy, maybe gracefully bow out so that it doesn't affect your legacy.
Yeah, a lot of everyone's reaction, if you were getting anyone's reaction on the news, they were all saying the same thing. It's his race, and it's up to him if he is to, make that decision. Essentially saying,
and
I hope he does.
They're saying he has a really tight circle behind the scenes that he only listens to. And it's comprised mostly of Empress Joe Biden. And they say Empress Joe Biden really enjoys the first lady. It seems that as she was second lady, she was envious of one Michelle Obama and just couldn't wait to be first lady. I can't wait to be king. And now that she's first lady, she is just not giving it up. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, and part of it is probably Obama. Part of it is Biden too. Like that man has waited a whole 80 years to be president, and he don't want to give up that second term. Okay. So what happens? They go. You got congressman, right? You have a first. Was it a senator or a congressman? One of them, publicly asking him to step down, gracefully asking him to step down. Mm-hmm. And then they have a meeting of governors, because now you affecting the whole ballot. You know what I'm saying? Now there's places where guys were up who are now down because you're down. So we're going to lose more than just the presidential election because of you.
Right.
And he goes on this interview. He has this campaign. Go to the other graphic I shared.
Got you. Hold on. Not this next slide here.
Not the other graphic. The one that one. Is that a video? Can you play the video if it's a video?
Yeah. Let me know if you hear it.
Well, let me say it as clear as I can. I'm staying in the race. I'll beat Donald Trump. I will beat him again in 2020. Well, guess what? They're trying to push me out of the race. Well, let me say it as clear as I
Listen
can.
to the year. Listen to the year.
Pay attention now.
I'm staying in the race.
You really talking slow now,
I'll
bro.
beat Donald Trump. I will beat him again in 2020.
Can't wait for
Well,
2020.
guess what? They're trying to push.
Can't wait to see what happens in 2020.
He's trying to bring us back. I'm not with it. I don't want to go backward, Mr. President.
So this is, in a nutshell, basically what I felt. You guys could talk. We'll get to the interview because I have some specific opinions on the interview itself. But real quick, Shalon said, as much as folks are saying that he should bow out now, it's not that easy. He's accumulated so much campaign money already that doesn't transfer, or isn't transferable to the next person. So let's say he has $3 million, and it's way more than that. That can go towards a campaign. He bows out, someone else goes in. They're starting from zero, and the election is in November. Not good. To that, I say I have a whole response that I want to let y'all talk before I get into my bag.
Yeah, are we? I guess. Wait, what's on this other slide here?
Out of the race. Well, let me say it as clear as I can.
Anything again?
Still the same thing.
All right. So yeah. Oh, it's so many facets of this. It's really I mean I find it, and I get it. Like we I get it that there's a lot to consider with him dropping out of the race. I get that the repercussions could be really severe, but you're kind of splitting the party now. And like if you look at him in this video, like his hands are shaking. This is the part where we say, like, no, we don't want to give all the power in the world to this man. And I understand the argument that you don't want the Republicans to win. I get that, all the fear surrounding that. But this party has to be more responsible. Then you have to be like, apparently, from what I've understood, there was no Democratic primary. It was just we're going for Biden. There's no
You said that in your video. There usually isn't.
Oh, there usually isn't, because I saw that being brought up as a big deal, like that Democrats didn't essentially allow anyone to have an option to come up. And one of the
incumbent presidents usually don't primary.
Okay, so that's my fault, I guess. But from what I was seeing in the news reportings, it was like this should have been something where there was other options given besides this. And I think that is the more responsible thing to do. I'm hearing things about Jill like lashing out at people and stuff like that who are saying things against him, saying that he's not fit for this and stuff like that. So I just feel like this is really disturbing that this is the place that we're in, and the fact that he's digging his heels in, and like we'll get to the interview, but in that interview it didn't, like, he won't even take a test, like he won't even give any type of reassurance besides I got this, no one else can do it like me. So it's just I don't know.
And that's not an exaggeration. That is literally what he's saying.
Yeah. It's
Well, he's saying he'll do his goodest.
yeah. You heard that?
He said goodest.
Yeah, I was listening to that in the car. My wife said, "Joe, did he just say goodest?"
Wait, real quick. Did in the articles that you read, is it that Biden because did the Democratic Party specifically block a primary, or was it that he had no opposition really? Because Obama had a primary and Clinton had a primary, like they had that opposition, but they cleaned up because they were the incumbent.
Right. So from what I understand, what I was looking into, it was like an undemocratic move. It was like something that was a big deal. So it seems like it was something that was actually blocked. From my understanding, that's the way I read into it. I mean, I could be wrong, but it was just like, you know, how is this even being something that's allowed? How do you get in the way of something like this? So yeah, to my knowledge, I could be wrong about that.
So yeah. So I was really trying to figure out, you know, a way to kind of clean this up in some way, shape, or form. Be like, you know, he's only human. People make mistakes, and it's just. But then you just look at the amount of mistakes he's been making, and it's very unpresidential. It's very unleadership like. Just really specific, and for people like me, who and I was talking to Kano about this, but in a different situation. For people like me who are not that like well versed in politics, just starting to get into it and understand it, looking at these things could very well make me or people like me be like, what's the point in voting in the first place? At least for this presidential campaign. Or for people to say, oh, I'm going for Trump now, or whatever the case may be, as people have been doing. You got to prepare. Like, I just feel like, where's his team at that to prepare him for this? And this goes into what we were talking about before, just like how bad the Democratic Party is at promoting, bad at marketing. I feel like Clinton and Obama. Like, I feel like they would like. I feel like their marketing was at its highest because the center of it all was this charismatic person. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like we need somebody. It seems like for Democrats, they need somebody that is super charismatic. That is not in a state that they're in. Because then, if they're in Biden's state, it's like they're scrambling for something to happen. You know what I mean? They're scrambling. They're not putting their best foot forward to market this person in the best way possible. Like, give that man a script, bro. Give that man a script. And if he's not reading any scripts, be like, yo, Biden, you're having a timeout. You know what I'm saying? But what about just face the wall? You're having a timeout. Fully. You know, like, let's just kind of like make it so the Democratic Party can actually have the chance. Because I do agree also with Shalon, like if it is the way that it is, maybe it is too late to make this transfer and get somebody, unless if they're super, super dope, unless if they're like amazing and they can just garner support with a snap of a finger. But I don't know who in their party and their camp that could do that.
Honestly, okay. Hold up. Let me do some things here first. First,
that's my opinion. I'm done.
When it comes to the Democratic Party and Joe Biden, unfortunately, part of the legacy, right, is going to be its inability to grow new talent.
Yeah.
Or further new talent. Now, part of it, I don't want to point fingers and blame, but I will. Part of it is Joe Biden. If you are the de facto leader of the Democratic Party, like you say you are, you have to have the vision to see these things. And part of it is also the DNC, which Andrew Yang is part of. He's the co-chair, I believe. You guys also have to have the vision to have primaries for situations like this. Now, Shalon is right. It's late. It's super late. if anybody was to jump into the election today, it would be the latest anybody's ever jumped into the election.
Yeah, I think that would be like never happened before, right? Like this,
Yeah, and it don't matter how popular you are. Name recognition that's part of the reason why you even have primaries in the first place. Is like, yeah, it's to vote who the people want, but they're going around campaigning. It's like the first round of campaigns.
right?
You go to Iowa, you go to Ohio, you do the whole Southern Belt, you do the South Coast, then you go out west, you go to the East, the Upper East, you do all of those. You have Super Tuesdays. You know what I mean? You do these because you're campaigning.
Yeah.
And then you win.
He's doing that now. He's doing that now. He's got a whole bunch of places he's going to.
Right, but that's not him. I'm talking about another candidate. That's why you do it.
Another candidate.
You have 4 or 5 people around at the same time, all campaigning in Iowa and Pennsylvania. You know what I mean? And then when you win, you get the campaign again. Yeah. And then it's more focused. You're only running against one person. This is a lack of vision from the Democratic Party and a lack of vision from the DNC. And it stunted people in more than one person. Kamala Harris, I'm not the biggest Kamala Harris fan. I'm not. Right. But the Biden administration, as the de facto leader of the Democratic Party, has done a terrible job at making Kamala Harris's accolades bigger, giving her more name recognition. You've done a bad job, and there's rumors that they've actually had intra discussions where they don't agree on certain things, and she has very little support from the president. Now you're stunting her growth. What does that mean? She would have been the most obvious person to run for you, so he probably knew that, and he probably was stunting it on purpose. And then the same thing with the Gavin Newsoms or the Gretchens, right? Where it's like, Gretchen can give you Michigan. Gavin is a young dude who's going to, unfortunately, this is America. He's going to poll well with women. He's a young, handsome dude. You know what I'm saying? Didn't grow any of them. Didn't grow any of them. There's no vision in this party, and it turns people off.
I really think also something that is, I really think that inner circle, because I know we're going to talk about the interview, but like he's denying the numbers. He's denying like what every poll is saying, and his thing is like, that's not what I'm hearing. That's not what the polls that I'm seeing. Right. And I really think that the people like in his talk about like an echo chamber, I really think that those people, I think they're kind of playing him at this point.
And that would be my answer to Shalon. Would be, you're absolutely correct in that it might be difficult for anybody to jump in here, not name Michelle Obama, because her name recognition and her polling numbers look incredible. She's beating Trump by like 11 points. She won't do it though. I don't think she would. She did not enjoy being first lady.
Oh wow, I did not know that.
So anybody else, it's an uphill battle for anybody else. And I think it's a Hail Mary throw at this point. Like, you doing it because this is all you got. Because if you go with this guy, we're sure to lose. It's a no-brainer we're gonna lose. They're asking him why he did bad at the debate, and he's like, I didn't take enough nappies.
Had a cold. It was a really bad cold.
Yeah, and I feel like, you're right. We're gonna talk about the interview, but I just feel like that was a very poor excuse.
We could get to the interview now.
Yeah. Let's switch gears. Do we got an image for that? I don't think we do.
Nah.
Okay, we'll just get to the interview. I'll see if I can pull up an interview. An image or something like that. Help us out here. Yeah, it was so yeah, Biden ends up sitting down with George Stephanopoulos, what a name. And he has this about a 22-minute interview, ABC News, and it was just, they were, talking about, basically Biden was doing it to try and reassure, his base, reassure people that he can do this job and stuff like that. And yeah, so It's the general consensus is that he sounds better. He looks a bit better. But that's about it. It's kind of like a little bit better. Yes, we are. I see the comments for Project 2025. We are going to get to that actually. That's in our lineup. So, but yeah, so that's basically the general consensus. Did y'all get to see it or see clips of it or anything like that?
I watched the whole thing.
Just a couple of clips and like the beginning.
So I watched the whole thing. I wasn't a fan of it. That guy, they asked him if he would step out the race, and he said if God came down himself, he might.
Right. Lord Almighty.
I think it's important to as a politician to have self-awareness. I think it's important if there's a sizable amount of people as your polling numbers are doing bad, to be aware. And I'm not saying concede, but none of those answers was like I'm ready to go. It was just I'm the best option. I do this, I do that, but it wasn't convincing. It wasn't. He didn't. It's like he didn't go there knowing that people were questioning him, and he does know. There's no fire. There's no, bro. This is an election, and he goes, unfortunately, I'm being judged on performance and not. Are you new here? That's what politics is performance.
Yeah.
That's 1/4 of the game, 1/3 of the game, probably half. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I just changed math fractions right now. That's performance. Like, he said some things in that interview where it was just like, where he would ask him questions and he would be like, when he said, I talk every day, to the Prime Minister of Israel. I probably shouldn't get into those details.
Yeah.
That's what, what is happening?
What is going on over there? What's going on in that conversation?
Yeah, I was just overall I'm disappointed in his inability to have self-awareness or be more you don't even have to be like, hold on, my bad. Let me just see something real quick. You don't even have to be like, yeah, I'm gonna step away. But you could acknowledge the concerns better. You could be like, listen, I understand. I gotta do better. Not, I was just tired. I had a cold. Bro, he got an excuse for everything. He reminds me of like a 16-year-old. He's like my daughter. It's like, yo, you gotta, but I didn't eat this morning. Okay. But I didn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's, bro, like, oh, you got it?
I don't doubt there's some folks there. Have you ever seen a group at time when elected officials running for office aren't a little worried? Have you ever seen that? I've not.
Yo, pause that. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like, how do you answer like that? Your answers are mad passive. You're not actively answering. It's like, are you concerned that you're falling behind in the polls? Doesn't everybody fall behind in polls?
Actually, look, wait, look at what he says. You bring that up. This is the part. Watch.
No, man, what's he gonna do? He may bring me down. He may.
Mr. President, I've never seen a president with 36% approval get reelected.
Oh man, mumble rapping.
Well, I don't believe that's my approval rate. That's not what our polls show.
Yeah.
And if you stay in and Trump is elected and everything you're warning about comes to pass, how will you feel in January?
I feel as long as I gave it my all and I did the goodest job as I know I can do. That's what this is about. Look, George, think of it this way.
Listen, I appreciate that he wants to do his goodest job.
Yeah, like I think we all should try to do our goodest job as I could do. Absolutely. Yeah. I appreciate that as well. But that's the whole thing. It's like he just said something that's like really serious. I've never seen a president at 36% approval rate get elected. And what Shalon said is absolutely true here too. They all deny the polls. That's politics. But if you want to talk about polls also said that there was going to be a big red wave the last time, and that didn't happen. You're absolutely right. The polls are something that you like. It's not the most trustworthy thing. It doesn't have the greatest track record, as you know. I definitely saw in the last election, like you have a bunch of polls that were leaning this way and it went that way. Yeah, absolutely. But at the same time, when you're talking about multiple polls, there was 2 polls I saw. 72% said that he shouldn't even go for this job again, and then 72% also said that they don't think that he's cognitively there. And that's a spike from before the last debate. You know,
yeah,
what I
they
mean?
asked him to take a test. He was like, "That's not a requirement."
Right. I can't find that part in the interview here, but yeah, he also, you know, asked him, "Would you take a cognitive test from a private, like, you know, like a third party?" And basically he said no. By skating around it, he said no. He's not gonna take that. That doesn't assure that doesn't give reassurance. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Polls are fallible because of those who fund them. Yeah, absolutely. I feel like it's accurate though here. Like, I feel like most people don't think he's cognitively there, you know, to do this. I don't feel like that's from funding. I feel like this is like that's why the polls have been wrong in the most recent Oh, yes. You're absolutely right. That makes a lot of sense in most recent elections. So, and that might be why, like, like Biden mentions in the interview, you know, like George, you know that, you know, you can't trust the polls and stuff like that. But George rebuttals like, yeah, but it's like every poll. And then his response is like, that's not the polls I'm seeing. And so I really feel like there's this world that's being painted for Biden right now from those inner circles, especially his
Here's my thing with politicians. Sorry, just not to cut you off, but I just wanted to say this. Don't confuse the stammering with inability. Here's my problem with politicians is that it's not up to me. It's not up to me. I don't really like. I know y'all wished we live in a perfect world where the voter is more informed, that he goes and digs and gets deeper. It's not up to me. You got to create that image. I have to know what your abilities are, what you have achieved. It got to be in my face. That's one thing about Trump that Trump gets right every time. As soon as he sits in front of a camera, he gonna lie to you and tell you how great he is. He gonna tell you all the lies in the world, but he gonna tell you how great he was. He will tell you everything he did that was great. Dog,
no one
this
ever
was
did
your
it that way.
interview. Tell me how great you are. Tell me why I should vote for you. And stop telling me that it's because of Trump. Because that's how I really do feel like the Democrats is just trying to guilt trip us into votes.
And I completely agree. Just go to Project 2025. That alone will tell anyone why they absolutely must vote. Yes,
but
you're right.
Why?
But from the end of
that out every time.
That's what I'm saying.
They failed as a political party. They did not have the vision to see that he's, how old is he? 81?
He's 81 now. Yeah.
They did not have the vision to see that an 81-year-old might have Asian questions going into an election. So they didn't prepare or prop up anyone to have the same name recognition to be able to, you know, swap and put in place. They didn't even have a primary. If they had a primary and Biden still won the primary, whoever was the runner-up would have had more name recognition coming in, whether that would have been Gavin, whether that would have been whoever else could have done it. I'm not sure how it would have played out if Kamala ran a primary against the president. I mean, you should be able to, though, honestly, because you're all within the same party and you guys are all going for the same goal. Ultimately, all egos aside, you're just trying to see who could do the best for the job. But yeah, this was a, for lack of better words, this was a complete circus show from the Democratic Party, as it's always been. It's been. That's Obama was a fluke. They were not going to run Obama. Obama was such a strong candidate that they had to run him. They weren't going to run him. They were going to run Hillary. She was going to be the primary. Yeah. DNC has been inept since they lost to Bush. The last great campaign they ran was Al Gore and then obviously Obama. But that was because he shined through that primary.
And the thing is, like, the constant, like, constant pandering that the Democratic Party has been doing.
We
And
outside.
it's the same. It's 4 years later, and it's the same thing. Be afraid of the other side. I'm getting tired of that. And yeah, you're right. You're right. Look, I'm not trying to undermine, because I feel like that's all that gets heard when I say these things. Like that I'm trying to undermine, or I don't really know what a second term Trump presidency would do. And then when I bring up everything that I'm obviously clearly looking at, a man that shakes when he talks, I feel like he needs his wife to help him downstairs. Can we please, like, it ends up being this thing of like, oh, like, well, it was irresponsible of the Democratic Party. It's like these chill words for what I'm looking at, but these terrifying words for what might come. But it's like, y'all gotta look. We can't run on fear every
Is
single
that true?
election. Tell me.
CNN polling, 91% of Democrats are enthusiastic about supporting. Like if we looked at AP News, would AP News agree with that? All right, we'll continue.
There's no way, and I tell you,
There's no way.
That was a real poll. It was the CNN put that out 5 days ago.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that legitimate?
I don't think so. I don't trust that.
Biden.
I don't.
Okay, Joe Biden.
I don't. That's not what I'm seeing. That's not the polls I'm seeing. One poll.
Those are the polls I'm seeing. See?
Yeah.
Thank you, Joe.
One poll out of ABC News. Joe Stephanopoulos in that same interview brings up an ABC News poll that has Biden not doing well at all. And I feel like that's very hard for me to believe, because
and ABC is left leaning, just like how CNN is very left.
Exactly. It's only been like left leaning things that I've been looking at. I have not turned to Fox News or any type of Republican outlet. None of that. And by the way, here's the so far, the people that are the Democrats that are calling on President Biden to drop out of the race.
That is coming because their polls are showing that they've gone down the ballot.
Exactly. So
I mean, they've gone down. Not that the down ballot has gone down in points since.
From the fact that we have to write X - Twitter now, is just ridiculous, right? Yeah, so I just feel like, while yeah, and it maybe Mike is bringing this up to show, like, yeah, these polls are not to be trusted, as they're fallible, as he was pointing out earlier. But yeah, like, I don't trust something like that. I highly doubt that would be the case.
Yeah, but I also got
these Democrats.
I also got the eye test though, right? Like, I seen people. I mean, the three of us spoke in the chat as it was happening. We're like, man, that debate isn't going good for Biden, huh? And that's not just us. Everybody I spoke to did not like that performance from Biden. So I can see how it was a knock. Yeah, and I don't need polls to show me that. I live in one of the bluest states in the world, one of the bluest cities in the world, and I'm one of the bluest demographics in the world. People was not happy with that performance.
Yeah, absolutely. Representative Steve.
There's a lot of people around me who are saying they rather not vote.
Yeah. The media focused on Biden's age. I am confused at this one.
Here's a question though. How scared should we be of Project 2025? I actually was watching a TikTok video the other day of I forgot the name of the lady, and I might have shared it with you guys. But she basically was saying that although Project 2025 is something that we should be looking towards and should be cognizant of. Um, it's not something that should give you a means to go and vote. Like that shouldn't be a reason to go and vote, or like that kind of fear mongering shouldn't be the reason why you should go and vote.
So
Fear mongering is the wrong word, because fear mongering is being afraid of something that isn't there.
well,
But like,
let me ask you. You watched the TikTok video. I know you were familiar with Project 2025 before that because you had shared a TikTok video a few months ago.
Yeah.
I forgot where it was, but
There's
you
been
had
a few.
shared it. And so you have familiarity with Project 2025. Let me ask you, where do you feel? Where do you stand? How do you feel?
I feel like after a little bit more research on that, it sounds like I may have missed the bus in terms of like doing my part to kind of help fix that, because we need to vote for not just the presidency, but like Congress seats, Senate seats, all of these different things that I wasn't really putting much thought or effort into in the first place. So whatever happened in that place, which was probably a little bit more important, I kind of missed the train on that. Now, if this is a bunch of Republicans in seats, and now they get their Republican leader, then maybe that's something that we should really be thinking about. Like, oh man, like maybe we shouldn't have Trump here in the first place.
Well, let me ask you this: are you ultimately, yes or no? Are you scared of Project 2025?
I'm fearful of that. I'm fearful specifically for what they're going to be doing in schools. They're already kind of doing it right now, which is like getting rid of books and different things like that deals with my culture. So if this goes through, it's kind of like a whole erasure of all of that. So yeah, that in particular for me is crazy and wild.
Alive,
And like they get to rewrite it in the sense of like, oh yeah, well, slavery wasn't all that bad. Like they can really rewrite that, and that's kind of wild to me.
Right. So this was the thing that had made Project 2025 much more of like a fearful thing for me.
And just a
Yeah.
intro. Project 2025 is sort of like a manual manifesto, kind of like it's a long step-by-step guideline created by the Heritage Foundation, which is a conservative super right-wing think tank that Donald Trump claims not to have any ties to or know of, but while he was president, he was passing policies that they support at a high clip. Papa was telling, I think it was like something like 60% or something like that. So it's the most that any presidency has ever passed policies that coincide with think tank before.
And this is Representative Ayanna Pressley. She is apparently there is this task force, the Project 2025 task force, which until this I didn't even hear of them. I also don't know. It confuses me as to why that hasn't been a part of the okay, sorry, I had to make sure why that hasn't been a part of the campaign. Why isn't Project 2025 something that they're talking about for Biden's campaign and for the vote for Biden? That confuses me. But this did give some more legitimacy to it, because otherwise Project 2025 was only something that I was hearing on left-wing social media, which to me is not enough of a thing for me to be like, oh yeah, this is, I should really be afraid of this. It was stuff that I wasn't dismissing, but I wasn't gonna put all everything into it. So they're talking about they're apparently grilling this guy, Jonathan Berry, who apparently had something to do with the book in 2025. Let's listen to some of the things it said.
He's one of the main writers.
Very often like to quote Dr. King, I don't know, maybe for some faux civil rights credibility or to pervert his words to suit your extremist needs, while working actively to undermine his legislative legacy. Republican attacks on the EOC are part of their broader efforts to weaken civil rights protections. One of their goals plainly laid out in Project 2025, a 1,000-page bucket list of extremist policies. Mr. Berry, Chapter 18 of the Project 2025 manifesto is about the Department of Labor. And you are the author of that chapter, correct?
Lead author, yes. There's others too.
Yes, you are. I believe the American public should know exactly how you and the Republican majority that invited you to testify today want to sabotage the EOC, rewrite the Civil Rights Act of 1964, and push all of us back to an era of Jim Crow racism. I'm shocked that my colleague across the aisle was in disbelief at our characterizations, my Republican colleagues very often, and assertions of racism and discrimination, when even former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy said the Republican side of the aisle looked like the most restrictive country club in America. We all know that Make America Great Again is about making America white only again. On the first page of Chapter 18, Project 2025 complains about how the Biden administration has been fighting for racial equity. On the next page, it calls for eliminating data collection on race and ethnicity in employment. On the page after that, it calls for rescinding an executive order signed in 1965 that prohibits discrimination in hiring by contractors. Mr. Berry, do these terrible ideas sound familiar?
They're great ideas.
These terrible ideas sound familiar? Of course they do. You came up with them. Mr. Berry, I find it shameful to advance a vision attacking the very policies and agencies that have helped Black Americans secure jobs, earn a living, and assertions of racism and discrimination, and provide for our families. This Project 2025 plan is policy violence, plain and simple. Its authors have placed such a large target on the EOC because of the incredible work the EOC is doing today. Last year alone, the agency filed more than 27,000 charges of race-based discrimination. These workers and their families have a pathway to justice, accountability, and healing because of the policies and regulations that Project 2025 is trying to get rid of. Ms. Wiley, how would workers be harmed by Project 2025's commitment to undermining crucial protections that are enforced by EOC and other federal agencies and provide for?
Well, essentially, it guts the ability to both be
girl.
able to have the rights
That's my girl.
and have enforcement and protection of the rights that we already have. And we've been seeing improvements and advancements when we have been enforcing them. And I'm also deeply concerned with any suggestion that we should not be collecting data or that labor rights, the rights to organize, which has been so important for workers across race, including white men, to ensure that they're getting fair wages and safe working conditions. All of these are actually in that chapter, and they threaten our workplaces for people who are white, for people of color, for people of all backgrounds in this country. And I think that's why we all need to be concerned, because it really is about all of us. Well, essentially, it guts the ability to both
next one, like
be able to have the rights and have enforcement and protection of the rights. That we
on the next slide, there's a little exchange. It's not too important between her.
You know, if you just click it, it stops, right?
Oh, get out of here. Bam, look at that. There's on the next slide, there's an exchange between the representative and the one of the authors, the main authors of Project 2025, where there's apparently he starts laughing and she's like, "Oh, you think this is funny?" But yeah, so look, I saw this and this gave a great deal of legitimacy to the whole Project 2025 thing. I don't want to undermine it at all, and that's why I showed this. That's why I played this, to give a certain amount of exposure to this, because I don't want, like my frustrations to be seen differently. I am worried about this. I am very worried about this. But you know what? Also, I'm frustrated with is that we're at another election cycle where this is what we're doing again. We're at another election cycle where your best card that you can play on the Democrat side after we gave you the W last time is be afraid again. Like I don't want to be in a situation where I'm forced to vote like this. I want to feel not only like I'm staying away from a different party because I don't agree with what they're doing or whatever, but also that because the party I'm voting for is giving me something that I can get behind, you know, like it's, but Biden, I'm sorry, like this is,
what do you want to get behind?
this is an idea. That's what you're not going to trap me. No, sir. But yeah, I want to be able to feel confident about putting this vote in. And what is frustrating to me, and I think what's going to be frustrating for the majority of Americans that do, not the majority, I don't know what the number is, who knows, right? But the amount of Americans that do feel like I feel or express the same things that Kano is expressing is that it's that those concerns are being undermined. They're being undervalued, as if we don't have a reason to look at what we're seeing and be like upset about this, like be really frustrated with the party and want them to hold them accountable, because you can't just run on this every single time. I'm getting frustrated with it, so I'm going to give you the W again. And what are you going to do? You know,
Nothing.
just protect us.
They never learn.
2025. That's the whole
Can
thing.
Trump run again
After this term?
Yeah, but he'd probably be dead though. Well, he's like 79. That wasn't like a crazy thing to say.
I'm in great shape. Great shape. I just did a whole tour in golf. You have to be pretty smart and very strong.
My
You
bad,
have
he's
a lot
78.
of people carrying your club. That's what I do.
Look, I'll be real with y'all. Just to answer Aliv's point, the Democratic Party never learns anything. In fact, I think they prefer it this way because that's their strongest running point. Is hey, we're not them. Vote for us because we're not them.
We're not doing no Project 2025 over here.
Yeah, that's just like, that's out, man. That's played out. Tired of it. I don't know if you tired of it, but I'm tired of it.
Yeah. I mean, whenever I don't know if we don't got time to play the video I sent y'all, but whenever you guys have time, watch that video. And I'll probably share. I remember it being long. I do. Yeah. Pause.
I don't know where Live went, but I guess I'll tell you my answers to his things. Well, you know what? Let's talk about Project 2025 because you asked the question. How afraid am I of Project 2025? So before a few weeks ago, I probably would have told you guys it's just a think tank. You know what I'm saying? They have a lot of power. They have a lot of influence. But ultimately, it's just a think tank. And we still have a democracy in this country. And you got to get through certain things to pass certain things. You're still a three-party, a three-branch government. There's still checks and balances. The past laws, you got to go through the legislative branch, and there's two houses, parties represented in both houses. And then you have the executive branch. So even if Trump is president, he could do executive orders, but ultimately laws are passed by the legislative branch. And if they're unconstitutional, you have the judicial branch that could check it. So I would have said a few weeks ago, yeah, this is concerning. And if you're in it, if your heart is in it, you should vote against it. But if you want to sit it out and you want to teach the Democrats a lesson and they lose, they'll never learn. They will never learn. But yeah, you could do that too. You're entitled to that. except a few weeks ago, maybe last week, the week before. I can't tell when. Let me run some history with you guys, man. I was aware of this on Obama's last year, right? In Obama's last year, when Scalia passes away, it's like February of 2016, I believe. Someone could Google it. Scalia passed away like February or March of 2016. And
I get
Obama
so mad at this statement, but continue.
And Obama proposes a Supreme Court justice. I forget who his pick is. I really forget who his pick was. I think it was like Gorsuch or something like that, who's a justice now. But I think that is who he or maybe that's who the Republicans wanted. Maybe Obama put in like proposed Garland. I forget who. But Mitch McConnell and the rest of the Republicans were like, nope, it's an election year and we're not doing it. It's an election year and we're not putting in a justice. And, I remember thinking, that's weird. But okay, because they create that precedent, they're going to have to stand on it. But the Supreme Court seats are very important. And usually when one goes, you swap them with someone who has similar political views or on the spectrum politically similarly, even though justices are supposed to interpret the law without any political bias. You still do it that way.
Uh-huh.
Obama leaves and Trump puts in Gorsuch, maybe, for Scalia. And then you got you have a justice step down who was a moderately, maybe you could say on the left, but centrist, moderate left centrist. He steps down. He gets replaced by, was it Kavanaugh?
I think so.
And then in election year 2020, in like September, maybe August, September, Ruth Bader Ginsburg passes away. And Trump proposes a Supreme Court justice. Like, remember what I said to y'all. In February of 2016, they said, no, it's an election year. It's too early. 2020 is not an election year. In September, they proposed, I forget her name, because she's never had a trial ever in her life. She's never presided over a case as a judge, which is insane. And she gets proposed to the Supreme Court justice, and it passes. And in 4 years, Trump put in 3 Supreme Court justices. One that he stole that Obama should have put in, one that resigned, and one that we kind of knew she was going to pass away. We were hoping she would hang on until January of 2021, but we knew she wasn't in great spirits. And those 3 seats have now effectively, for the next 30 or 40 years, destroyed this country. Because I now think Project 2025 is one of the most dangerous things in the world, because we no longer, as Michael Facey said right here, we no longer have a check on the president of the United States with SCOTUS. We've watched the Supreme Court of the United States reverse Roe v. Wade and give it back to the states. So some states abortion isn't even legal. This is great. I'm gonna assume that's who I think it is. B. Jones, Rockwell. RBG should have stepped down while Obama was in power, and so should have oh boy, I believe his name was Kennedy. Justice Kennedy, I think, was his name. He also should have stepped down if he was going to step down when Obama was there. Those two should have stepped down then, and not in 2020. Now, and Obama should have probably codified abortion laws, but whatever. That happens, and then we're like, okay. It's a six Supreme Court justices seem to lean to the right. Okay, that's fine. Abortion has always been like a debated thing in this country. We didn't think they were going to reverse Roe v. Wade, but okay. And then the immunity case happens. And I seen something that I never thought I'd see in this country. You got to remember the history of this country. You guys like Hamilton. The history of this country is we revolted. We had a revolution against a monarchy because we didn't like absolute power, because the monarchs were held unaccountable. They had, for a lack of better word, absolute immunity. They
Crazy.
were monarchs. They were authoritarian in nature. And then here we are full circle. And the Supreme Court says, in very vague language, that the president has immunity for all official acts. Never telling us what official acts are, never distinguishing official acts from unofficial acts, deferring that decision to lower courts, who will have 3 or 4 years to figure that out. So basically giving a president 4 years of absolute immunity in reality is astonishing. It's one step closer to authoritarianism. It means, and people are saying Democrats are being alarmist. Democrats are being dramatic. Man, to tell you, I'm not a Democrat. You could go back a few weeks ago. I was out here saying I might vote for Trump. Mostly because I can't stand the Democratic Party. It has nothing to do with like my support for Trump. It's just because the Democratic Party, like I said, never learns. Never ever learns. But, man, this means realistically, if you guys go back to the Trump administration, if you remember when the BLM protests were happening and he said he wanted to shoot them down, this means that in theory, if that is deemed an official act as a president, he can do that because it's not against the law. He has immunity for all official acts. They said when he asked Mike Pence to not certify the election, that was an official act because the president and the vice president have the right to speak about elections, and that's an official act. That's insane. That's insanity.
So could we get a little more background on this, because this is something that I feel like I'm trying to understand more.
What part don't you get? The part that you don't get, because immunity means that you
right, but
you're protected and you're not going to be held accountable for it. And he now has
immunity. Okay,
hold on. And now he has immunity for all official acts as president. But the Supreme Court does not distinguish between official and unofficial acts. To get the distinction, you have to go to the lower courts. It takes about 3 or 4 years for lower courts to go through these cases. Even then, it can still get back up to the Supreme Court. Right? You can always appeal.
They can kick it back to the
Supreme Court. Always appeal these decisions because the Supreme Court is the highest court. So they can literally
immunity.
They can literally leave this vague. There is no distinction. I don't even know what to call it. This vague categorization of official and unofficial. You can leave it in legal limbo for as long as time you need while you're assembling fire squads. Now that sounds like alarmist vocabulary, but it's not. Governments have done that. Governments have killed political opposition. Governments have killed protesters. Governments have killed any opposition. It has happened. They have formed paramilitary authoritarian groups.
Right.
It's happened.
Yeah.
In world history. It's happened.
Nah, and I've seen enough TV shows and played enough video games that have this type of plot to know that this is I can see this playing out. Yeah.
The Supreme Court was
y'all about to have really bad audio for me for a while.
Oh,
you gotta charge your phone.
Nope.
Okay.
But
yeah. So I just think that makes Project 2025 way more dangerous now, because not only do they have this amazing influence on Donald Trump, as Michael said earlier, that he passed 70% of their policies. Not only have they been playing the long game here, they now have the Supreme Court 6-3 majority over us. And not only will the conservatives fall in line, because that's one thing they do, they fall in line.
Yeah, that's one thing. They are to a fault unified.
Yeah, it is probably one of the most dangerous threats to modern society that we've had as a country.
So what Mike is saying here is true. Like Biden right now could put in could execute Trump as an official act, as saying he's a threat to democracy, and he would get immunity for something like that. That's the place that we're in right now.
So and here is the real problem, is that in theory, yes, but he couldn't, because when it gets kicked up to the Supreme Court, I guarantee you the Supreme Court this Supreme Court, Trump's Supreme Court, will say it's an unofficial act. The flip to that, though, is we don't know if they'll say that for Trump.
Right.
They'll give him the benefit of official acts.
You know what's weird though? Because in the past, like I remember that the Supreme Court didn't give him that the election was a fraud.
Also, shout out to Papo, because me and Papo has fleshed out this whole immunity that we've gone back and forth, because I was trying to find the redeeming qualities of this immunity decision, and I couldn't.
You got a lot of fans in the chat here, by the way, giving you a lot of love and all that stuff.
Hey, we're gonna have mad fun in the labor camps.
Oh my gosh, this chair is, I can't be in this position too much longer. So why did they in 2020 did they not, when Trump was going through the courts trying to essentially appeal the presidency of Joe Biden's presidency, how come then the Supreme Court didn't give him the W? Because I remember they shut it down, that there was no evidence for that, even though the Supreme Court was most people that he put in.
What case did they hear in the Supreme Court?
It had something to do with the whole thing that the election was fake. Remember that was going through multiple courts.
Did the Supreme Court pick it up?
Yeah, the Supreme Court picked it up, and they
I'll answer your question. I don't think the Supreme Court was going to pick up this immunity case at all, ever. I don't think they thought that they would have to. But then when old boy got charged with the felony counts, and he got convicted for the felonies, when he was found guilty, they were like, man, we got to protect him somehow.
So essentially, then they were able to give him the L for that, but well, we can't let him go to jail for this. Let's give him the W here. Let's put it.
Yeah,
I guess it's like, we're not going to be that unified to him, but we're not going to let him go to jail either.
Even though this doesn't protect him from those cases, but I think it's to protect him from anything further, because he was found guilty of those felony counts. So I think they were like, okay, if he was found guilty on that, if there are any further cases like the election fraud case in Georgia, that is a big one. That one he would be protected from because he was president at the time. So I think it's like, they've been moving with vision and foresight on that side. While we're over here like scrambling and not liking who we have in power, they are moving like it's a chess game. So
they thought they could do a different route and realized Trump had the.
So they can't. So if they had a Democratic president, they can't do the same. That blocks them from doing all of those things.
They could. It'll slow it down. It would slow it down, but we could have 4 years to recalibrate and combat against it. Yo, y'all want a hot take? So I've been watching a lot of Godfather of Harlem, and I've been watching. It takes place in the 60s, and it's a lot of activism going around in those days. You got the Nation of Islam, you got the Black Panther, not the Black Panther Party. You have the Southern Baptist churches that MLK is leading, and I do think you also have the Black Panther Party in the 60s. Someone fact check me here. when was Black Panther Party active? You have Adam Clayton Powell, you have Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X. You have a lot of leaders in the South that I don't know. I know Jesse Jackson, but this is the 60s. This is the John F. Kennedy presidency and the Lyndon B. Johnson.
66 to the early 80s. They were
right. Cool. So that's all of so then you have the Nation of Islam, and you have in the Black community specifically. I can't speak to any other community. I know I'm Hispanic, I know I'm Latin, but when it comes to the United States, this is the only culture I know. I can't really speak for the other ones. But in the Black community, you had a lot of activism, awareness, a lot of people fighting for equality. The Civil Rights Act was about to pass, but they fought for that. There were riots for that. Things had to happen. You had million-man marches. It had to happen. I will say, not to be conspiracy theory guy, but man, sometimes it feels like, couldn't there be like a movement that mobilizes all of us right now? It does. I don't feel like it's there. I feel like everywhere you turn, we're fighting with each other, and like you talk about like anything political or anything to further the movement. Because listen, if you could get the Black community together, you get. I think the Black community is the community that you need to get together, and then you can stop anything in this country. You know what I'm saying?
It's kind of weird. I think that in the Black community, we've been a lot more united than we were before. I feel like we're united with like from something as small as a Twitter post or a meme on Black Twitter, and us making jokes about that and relating back to our culture, to like Gen Z going out there into various areas supporting things like being against gun violence and stuff like that. Like there's been a lot of unification that's been happening in that community.
Where are the organizations that
but
we
I feel
can
like
join?
there's no clear, like there's nobody with the charisma of a Martin Luther King or a Malcolm X.
If Hakeem Jeffries today, said, "Yo, I'm starting a group," everyone should, in the areas that Hakeem Jeffries has influence over, right? I believe he's a New York representative, right? He's from here. Yeah. Everyone within the tri-state area, maybe even including Philly, Delaware, parts of Mass, he should be able to create an organization as big as the Nation, as big as the Nation of Islam, as big as like the Black Panther Party. And it don't really got to be like a political organization. It could just be a think tank organization. Somewhere where we could all have one clear vision, where we all get together and everybody explains to you what the immunity, what the immunity decision means, what Project 2025 is. Instead of all of us having our own podcast, you know what I'm saying? And in the shade room and Hollywood Unlocked pushing the ball, moving the needle. It should be someone like that, someone like Cory Booker. Malcolm used to have speeches that he would give. He would sit by a microphone and it would go out into the radio, and people listened. The Nation created that infrastructure. Adam Clayton Powell had an immense amount of influence for a representative, and that's not there anymore.
Yeah.
And then once that's organized, then you can reach out and go, "Hey, Latinos, do the same thing." Even though I'm not a big fan of like Latin Americans, because they come over here and they go MAGA crazy, and then they be racist, like Ryan Garcia.
But
we creating hip hop too.
I think we do need somebody that has that it factor, That's all we need. And then boom. I feel like the whole big movement will spread. Because I'm
But then they kill him.
I'm very convinced that the internet, that 2020 has brought us together. Like, if there was any doubts that there was racism before, all of that has been dispelled in 2020. We've had so many situations where we actually came together. You know what I'm saying? To build that. Like, I'm not talking about all these like people. A lot of conservatives talk about the riots and this, that, and the third. I'm actually talking about legitimate rallies, legitimate protests that BLM has created. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we do want to. This is a very active generation. We just need somebody to round up that and get everybody active. And get active to that one cause, like Kano was saying. I think that is all that we need. But I feel like we also don't put much effort into creating and instilling these values to these to leaders like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, to create leaders.
So real quick, Michael Facey said that division is by design, and that's why I was going to. Well, I don't want to be conspiracy guy, but I do believe that now you got to wonder, who owns hip hop for real? Like, everybody talks about, J. Rue the Damager said this recently. Everybody talking about who created hip hop. Let's talk about who owns it now. Who does? Who owns it? And if they do own it, what direction are they steering everyone in? Why do people want to be Bloods, Crips, and BDs and GDs more than they want to be the young kids? Right? Why do they want to be that more than they want to be? Even the ones that aren't. Because let's be clear, there's a gang of kids who aren't about that life, but they still portray it on Instagram because that's what the rappers are. That's what Dirk is. That's what Lil Baby is. That's what Gunna is. Maybe not Gunna. That's what Young Thug is. You know what I'm
saying? Not no more.
but like, yo, maybe there's a concerted effort. That's not a slight at Dirk. That's not a slight at Lil Baby. Shout out to them, man. They was able to get out their situation. My question is, who's paying them? Who's making money off them? And are they now steering that narrative to be more influential than the Malcolms were, than the Adam Clayton Powers were, than the Fred Hamptons were, than the Huey P. Newtons? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because y'all not going to sit here and lie to me. These young kids, they want to be Bloods and Crips. They want to be hustlers. They want to be skims. I think this is the first generation that don't really want to be pimps. They did want to be that when we was kids. And this transcends Black culture in America. The white kids want to be that. Hispanic kids want to be that. So if we have that much influence, you got to wonder who is directing it this way.
Can I have I'd like to share a hot take, and then maybe we can segue into the next topic with this one. But I think that if we're talking about influence in entertainment, I'm looking at Kendrick. If we're talking about influences and that and I'm not just saying that because I like the rapper and he's nice with it or whatever. Like, he literally unified Crips and Bloods and Pirus and everything in between that one night on Juneteenth. Like, your man still uniting them on the 4th of July with his music video when that joint dropped. Little children were like, if there's anything that shows that he has the power of influence, little kids, little teenagers, preteens were rapping Not Like Us over and over and over again at parties, proms, whatever the case may be. So I do think that, I don't know if Kendrick wants to take on that role of being more of an activist than an artist, and really put more effort into that.
Pac
I
would
feel
have.
like he can pivot to that and make it happen.
Pac would have. I gotta just shout out Michael Facey.
Pac would have, for real.
Yo, Joe, didn't I just tell you this the other day where the DNA of hip hop was altered because the gods, Clarence 13X started the Nations of Gods and Earth. the Gods influenced early hip hop and the Black Panthers influenced early hip hop. So you got artists like Rakim, who's a god, and artists like Chuck D, who was raised by the Black Panthers, and they were making hip hop into that in that likeness,
Right.
and that has just been completely shut out of our culture.
Yeah. We're gonna breeze over the fact that he said didification.
Yeah.
So that was genius.
But
He's
yeah, I
good
do
at
agree.
D.
We don't have that anymore. We don't have that knowledge of self.
You think people like Kendrick might be afraid to take on that task?
Yeah, I think so.
Because Pac could.
Who knows? He might actually be on the mend with his maybe this beef or maybe this whole situation might have put him on the mend with his fiance. He's connected with his kids. Like, you're gonna put a target on your back, doing being that activist.
Pac could have been
Especially now
killed.
when you're talking about Project 2025 and the whole immunity thing. They could make an official act to kill him. Whatever. So
Yeah.
So he got a lot. He got things that
that
he's
is
gonna
so
lose. He can lose.
Yeah,
So-
if you consider like an activist a problem, well, now you have another.
That's usually what they do in authoritarian governments.
Yeah,
You look at
like-
China, you look at Tiananmen Square. Tiananmen, I don't know how to pronounce it, but
Tiananmen Square.
There we go, Tiananmen Square. They killed
the whole-
protesters.
I mean, the whole thing of our government has
We're
been
pretty
doing it.
smart guys.
Our government has been doing it already without.
Have we? I don't feel like we've killed protesters.
No, but they killing activists.
Yeah, but it's
Remember
secretive.
Kyle Rittenhouse?
Secretive.
He was killing activists.
Yeah, but it wasn't government.
Got
sanctioned.
away.
It's not government sanctioned. You know what I mean?
We don't know if
Oh,
Trump made them.
I peep.
Yeah, it's different from Kyle Rittenhouse than Delta forces swiping through in DC just spraying bad people.
Right, but my point is that we already have a history of taking out the problems that government considers problems. Like we're not going to act like these activists that have been killed are not government. Like government sent, essentially, like government backed in some type of way. Some branch, some aspect of it in some type of way. Why am I always forget his name? And I want to bring him up because I feel like he's not brought up as much as he should be. Oh my gosh, please help me, guys. Judas and the Black Messiah.
Fred Hampton.
Fred Hampton.
I said his name.
Oh, you did? My fault. Yeah. So like from Fred Hampton to just take your pick. I just feel like this is our government. Wasn't there an FBI agent last year that came out and said that he was
I mean, we know the FBI killed
well,
Fred
he
Hampton.
died?
We know that.
No, that's Fred Hampton, either Malcolm X or MLK. That before he died, he admitted to killing him or something like that. That the FBI had sent him.
Oh yeah. On his deathbed or something like that, he admitted to killing Malcolm X.
Right. So, I mean, this is the trend now. Imagine with an immunity deal, like that is terrifying.
Yeah. Now we could segue to Kendrick now.
We could. I don't do. The only thing here left in this topic was that whole Philadelphia thing. Do you want that or no?
What Philadelphia thing?
You sent the Philadelphia radio station thing.
Oh, we can skip over that.
All right. Just double checking.
I think we've already berated Biden.
Indeed.
Because he not like us.
But I do, but the way that you were speaking about it, Kano, I can't think of anybody else that is that it's him and Justin Jones.
I
feel like
meant
Pac.
to bring him up.
I really feel like if Pac was alive, he could have been somebody, man.
Justin Jones would be phenomenal.
All right, Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us music video, 14 million views in less than 24 hours. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, this is
Who else is tired of this song?
You know, I thought I would be, but I'm not. I'm not.
I'm not allowing
I can listen to that song another 20 times, boy.
I'm not allowing myself to be tired of it. That's where I'm at.
I don't know what he put in that song to make me stay interested, but I'm there, bro. I'm here for it all the way.
Mustard on the beat, ho.
I think it's
and I don't really and crazy is I'm not even that big of a fan of DJ Mustard's beats. This is probably the only beat that I'm feeling, and I don't even think maybe this is not his best beat.
Here's the question I want to know: how many times y'all crip walked or blood walked on this?
In my house, many.
Yeah,
I may not have known how to. I probably don't know. I'm probably not crip walking right at all. I gotta holler at my boy to find out if I'm doing it right. But I've been doing it in my crib.
Yeah,
Hoover stomping the whole record.
Yeah, when it hit the A minor part, he went across the whole hopscotch joint.
Hey, listen. There is something though here, right? We never got to talk about the pop out, but it coincides well with the video. Man, Family Matters. Family Matters isn't aging well. Where he's like, you talking like you one of the members. My dude CB really bang. My dude YG really bang. My dude Chuck T really. No, Kendrick really bangs.
Yo, the fact YG came out, that was crazy.
It was a bunch of West Side Pirus in this video. It was a bunch of West Side Pirus.
And he had D Rose. He had D Rose in this joint too. Like this guy had, oh my gosh, bro. Like everyone.
And does he call it Bompton or Compton?
I don't know.
Kendrick? Compton.
Yeah, I feel like I've only
trying to see Compton.
Wow, he's very inclusive for Paru. Very inclusive.
I really do think he is the embodiment of what Pac wanted to achieve. I really do.
That's not. No.
You don't think so?
No. No. Kendrick is a great artist. Kendrick has done no activism. That's not a shot at him.
No,
it's not a shot at
about activism. I'm talking about unification.
Maybe in that sense, yeah.
Like
I think Pac was way deeper, man. Pac wanted to do the footwork to unify people. Pac was on the phone with Monster Cody. Monster Cody's a real reputable from 8 Trey Gangsters. Monster Cody was also a real reputable in one of them black prison gangs that I'm not going to say the name of because that's none of my business. But he was on the phone with him and he was talking about, hey, what are the steps I could take? Mind you, he's on the red team. He rolling with the mob Pirus over there, the Pirus from Compton. And he talking to an 8 Trey Crip from South Central LA and saying, what are the steps I could take for unification in Los Angeles?
Yeah.
Different. It was a different. Pac was a different breed, man.
No.
If you told me the government killed him, I wouldn't be surprised.
But at the same time, you don't think that Kendrick is having those conversations too to get that show done?
Pac was a different level.
No, I'm not saying he wasn't. I'm saying that Kendrick is standing on the shoulders of Pac.
No,
and Kendrick has such an influence of Pac.
I hear you. I'm telling you, no.
All right, but you're not telling me why. You're saying no.
I'm saying Nipsey and Kendrick are definitely, while he was alive, Nipsey and Kendrick were definitely
like byproducts, but they're not Pac.
Right. They definitely took a lot of his influence, but there hasn't been a Pac. Pac was a son of 2 Panthers.
Right.
You see him talk. No one has the oratory skills of a Pac.
Okay, so let me take away embodiment. That was a wrong choice of words. I feel like in a lot of ways Kendrick is accomplishing some of the things that Pac wanted to accomplish.
Sure.
Like you don't think that Pac would have been crying at that show, at that pop-out show?
I agree with you, but I do think that's also like the direction that LA has been going in ever since Nipsey's passing. that is the direction that LA has been going in.
Right.
Which
So
was,
Kendrick
yo, let's
stands
put
on the shoulders of them,
Right.
and he accomplishes
Not-
this. If
not
Kendrick
Pac,
doesn't,
though. I don't know why you arguing me on this, man. Pac wanted to do so much more. Pac is the type of dude who he would sit there, listen to what I'm saying to you. Pac is the type of dude that would have sat down and give you a 14-point plan. He probably could recite the Black Panthers 14-point plan for you. I don't feel like Kendrick does that. And that's not a knock to him. That's not his job. He's an artist. He's one of the best artists in the world. And that's his job. He's super mature and he's from the culture. So he understands why like peace is important in his community. But it's not the same thing.
No, I'm not saying it's the same thing. I'm not saying that it's the same exact thing. Would you now hear me? Would you agree that Kendrick has influence from Pac and Nipsey?
Yeah, I said that.
All right, so you agree to that. So now, would you agree that what Kendrick has taken the advantage of doing by putting his whole city on, right, and uniting gangs and all that, right?
It's beautiful. It's a different route. It's not what Pac would have done.
You don't think that's somehow influenced by Pac? I'm not saying it what Pac would have done, but like, yo, Pac would have want this. Nipsey would have want this.
Yeah, I said that.
This is why I'm taking advantage.
I said, but you said that he's like what Pac would have wanted to be, which is what I'm telling you. You're wrong.
No, I didn't say that.
You did say that.
I said I said the.
You can rewind this. That's the first statement you said. Kendrick is like the embodiment or whatever. You didn't say embodiment, but the artist
Pac would have wanted, not wanted to be.
Okay.
Like he's fulfilling what Pac started. That's what I'm saying.
He's not doing that either.
I think
there is no artist that does that, by the way. The closest we got was Cole when he was out there in the protests. That's the closest we got. But Cole was just actively listening. Cole wasn't in the front lines like how Pac would have been. Cole was learning, which is cool. There's nothing wrong with that. Shout out to you for even being there.
Okay.
But there is no Pac. There's no Pac equivalent right now. A closer comparison would be like a My Son.
But yeah, I guess my statement is being misread, but we agree with each other. We do.
I just don't want you to downplay who Pac was and who Pac could have been.
I wasn't. I want you to do that at all.
I want you to sit there and understand everything he was doing. He was beloved in the Bay Area. He was beloved in Los Angeles. He was beloved in New York. He quiet as kept. He never had beef with New York as a whole. He had beef with Brooklyn dudes. He's not from Brooklyn. He's born in Harlem, got family in Queens.
Lived in Brooklyn, didn't he?
From Harlem, probably lived in Brooklyn too, but he's really from Uptown. He's from Harlem, had family in Queens, had family in New Jersey, Newark, and then had a lot of love in DMV.
Yeah.
So this was a guy who really could have unified, and he died at like a really young age.
Yeah, no, it's tragic, and I have too much respect for Pac to ever do that. Martin, when you were at my crib the other day, I was talking about like essentially what Kano was talking about, where I was mentioning the recorded phone calls that we have of Pac's vision, that it wasn't all out there and stuff like that, and that was something that I admired of him. Like he was doing everything you're saying. I completely understand. And I know like he was doing that legwork, and I'm not going to attribute that to Kendrick, but I think that what Kendrick did, like Pac would have seen and would have been in tears about, I really do. I think
I'm bad. Then that's my bad. Cause I thought you said would have wanted to be.
Never.
So that's where like
never. No.
That's where my passion came from. Cause I thought you said.
But I do think the next step that Kendrick should be doing, if he wanted to go down this route, is to organize more activism, is to be a part of more of these movements, and is to now that you have these conversations and you made them connect, now to have the real conversations, in quote unquote the room where it happens, and talk to them and try to figure out what can be done, and seeing unification happen through hip hop, which I do think is an aspect of what Pac was trying to accomplish in
Yes.
his lifetime.
This is a great opportunity for if Kendrick can, like what you're saying. This is like that jumping off point. If he really can, if he really chooses to do this, which, to be honest with you, I really hope he does, because
I
what a
think,
legacy.
I don't want to downplay Kendrick. My whole thing was that he hasn't gone through that chapter that Martin had just said, because as an artist, this is gonna be hard to say. But as an artist, not as an entrepreneur, because he doesn't have those entrepreneur accolades that Jay-Z has. But as an artist, is probably the most successful artist in terms of quality of art. He's the first Pulitzer Prize winner we have. And dare I say, every body of work can stand alone as a classic.
Yeah.
I can't think of, and not a classic and oh, this is good music. A classic and oh, this is good music, and it has depth.
It's art.
It is art. He might be the most successful, and at the same time being one of the most successful rappers. He can still make songs, like not like us. He still can put a melody together.
He is. I really think after this whole beef and all that, he has catapulted himself to a level of
Pulitzer Prize, well deserved.
Yes, a level of artistry that I think is going to be hard to come by, to ever see again. I think that this is
once in a lifetime.
Incredible. Yeah, what we're witnessing is once in a lifetime, and that's why I'm saying, like, how this whole thing has played out. It was about him versus Drake. He made it. LA versus Drake. LA
shout out. Can we shout out Martin real quick? Because I feel like early on, Martin had that take where he was like, yo, this battle was bigger than Drake and Kendrick. It's more like the pure artist versus the pop artist.
Yeah.
I
remember he sent that thing before my surgery. I remember looking at it. So that's why, 2 weeks ago, he sent like battle for the soul of hip hop. You know what I mean? And there's so much.
But he said that before 2 weeks ago. He said that like right around the time that dropped.
Yeah. No, he did.
Thank you guys.
No. Kyle was, when we were talking about who's gonna be, he was definitely defending Kendrick much more than us, as being the.
Yeah, I still think like that was a mid verse. I will stand by that. I still think it was.
But you know what? Everything else after that was.
I do say that. I was thinking that Drake was. I didn't want Drake to win, but I was thinking that Drake would win because he had more experience with battle rapping.
Man,
but
you just brought up a good point. Wrong? You just brought up a good point. Going into this battle, most people thought that Kendrick would be fighting an uphill battle because of how popular Kendrick was, and in like 3 songs.
You mean how popular Drake was?
Yeah, how popular Drake was. My bad. No. And like in 2 songs, he just flipped the perspective of how we. And to me, I know a lot of people love Not Like Us. A lot of people love the other records. For me personally, it was Euphoria that did it.
Yeah.
You know, the Meet the Grams was dark. A lot of dark things were in that, and it was a shot.
We were in like it was nighttime. You couldn't see much. It was you heard rustling in the bushes and stuff.
Yeah.
It was a terrifying scene.
It's a horror film on a record, but Euphoria is what I think really got us all going. He do think he a bad bitch. You know what I mean? Like
this man didn't even give a warning for that one.
You probably shouldn't say the N-word anymore. Actually, I'm just saying, like he in one song. He changed that man, the perception that everyone had of that man. In the opening bars. In the opening bars, he changes everything.
Yeah. And let me ask you guys this. Let's get into the video. What did you think of the video?
Oh, I'm tired of this song.
Okay.
Yo, as dope as this run was, as great as it was, I'm ready for the next record. Yo, Kendrick, put out an album. I'm ready
Yo,
for the next
speaking
record.
of the next record, did you hear the first?
You heard that? Yeah, that
first few
intro?
seconds.
Yeah, I liked it. I did like that.
I'm excited to hear this album.
We
And
might
it sounds
actually.
like he's still going down that Bay Area flow.
Well, it's California. This is California.
I think he's taking. I think this one is for Compton.
I think I also think that this is gonna be like,
his best album.
oh my gosh,
He's so charged up. He has the support of the world. He's feeling whatever he had recorded, he probably scrapped. Because God knows
And
that
now he's
man.
about to re-record. Yeah, I agree.
yeah,
God knows that man record an album in a day. So
yeah, he will in the dark. And yeah, like this man is it. Even if the album is trash, it's going to sell. It like you,
but it won't be trash.
it
It
can't.
won't be trash. It has to be.
impossible.
You know how
These
crazy.
diss records were like charting. How can an album be trash?
He was
from him?
But you know what though? I gotta say this. Mr. Moran, the Big Stepper, I know this is y'all joint. To me, felt uninspired. It was great because he's great.
Oh, you're
It was a dope project because he's a dope artist.
Yeah.
But it didn't have the same fire that Good Kid, Mad City. I was gonna say Get Rich or Die Trying. That Good Kid, Mad City, or that To Pimp a Butterfly had.
I can
and
see
it-
that.
And it just didn't have that. And yeah, it was more mature, so the sound was more mature. But he had moments in that album where I heard it again. You know, like the track where he's arguing with his girl. You know, like it was there, it was still there, but the whole album just felt uninspired. I think this time around, and it's hard to stay inspired after you drop two of the greatest albums of all time. It's hard.
Though I disagree with this statement, I do agree that the charged up part.
This next one is coming.
This next one's going to be. It's gonna. I'm afraid to say what I'm about to say. So
Say
I'm gonna keep it to myself.
Say it.
Because I
do
don't
it,
want to
do
put
it.
it. I do not want it to be
No,
on the
put it on.
airwaves.
Say it.
It's on
Airwaves.
record.
Nah,
Say it.
Let's
we
just
said we was
say,
gonna
I
do hot
think-
takes.
I think it's going to be. Let's just say I just think it's going to be an instant classic.
I think it would be his best album yet.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be better than Good Kid. He's never had this. He's never been the one. He's on top of the hip hop industry. He's the one.
yeah.
When he said
He
it's
is
no
the
big
guy.
three, it's just Big Me. That's
Yeah,
now.
and you know what's crazy? That aged so well. That aged
Bro.
so well.
No.
Self-fulfilling
Not just that.
prophecy.
Everything this man says ages well. Everything. You don't tell lies about me, and
What is it? The braids?
About you.
What is
Right.
braids? Yeah, I gotta get my braids back, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's something you don't want to do.
Hey, how do y'all feel? Just moving away from this. Recently, Joe Budden said that he built the blueprint to how to destroy Drake. How do you guys feel about that? He said that he laid out the foundation.
who that Budden built out?
Joe
the
Budden
foundation?
said that. Joe Budden was on a Twitter
Joe
space.
Budden said it about himself.
Yeah, and he was on a Twitter space, and they asked him some questions, and he said that he built the foundation to take down Drake, and then he passed that baton to Pusha T, and Pusha T built on the foundation that he built, and then Pusha T gave the baton to Kendrick, and Kendrick listened to both guys, took the best parts of the Budden blueprint, took the best parts of the Pusha T blueprint, and then redesigned it with his own things.
I
and then
don't think I can
destroyed
answer
Drake.
it because I don't remember any of Joe Budden's disses.
Yeah, I remember nothing. And also, I mean, look, I don't want to. I have a gut reaction that I'll share in a second. I don't want to think like that. I want to maybe give him the benefit of the doubt because, like Martin said, like I don't know. But
Well, he said he definitely
shut
heard.
up. Shut up. No, not you. Budden.
Oh,
Budden.
I was going to say, he said he definitely heard traces of his disses in Kendrick's disses.
I I don't know. Is it just me, or does it sound like you grasping for any type of light?
He's just trying to ride the wave.
Yeah, like
Ultimately, the statement that he made was it took him pushing Kendrick to bring down Drake.
Yeah, he's just trying to ride the wave, yo.
negative.
Like, who was really like maybe Pusha? Because I remember Pusha. I don't even think Kendrick spoke about Joe Budden in any of his Euphoria.
Speak about Pusha T. All right, so you have that, but no, man, this is crazy. It took Kendrick to bring down Drake.
Who's gonna bring down Drake? Me, Pusha T, getting butted.
What is it, the braids? Nah, I don't buy that at all. I don't. Look, I'm not, and the thing is, I'm not trying to take any flowers away from anyone. If you had a part to play and influence, then fine. But you can't include yourself in the conversation of what this man has just done.
But what I will say,
it's historical.
What I will say, Drake made some missteps, huge missteps on some of his greatest diss records, like Family Matters. That whole like you're trying to free the slaves line, like that didn't age well.
No.
It kind of really it didn't, like, there's so many layers to it where, like, in it's just so much. There's so many. I don't want to have to bore you with the details, but there's so many layers with just that one line alone. I think that he set himself up to lose by doing and I know y'all loved it, but I hate it. That AI Tupac Snoop thing.
No, listen, I gotta tell you,
if there's anything that was going to unify,
I gotta tell you,
that unified the West Coast, it was gonna be that. Like, probably Drake did that low key.
Wait,
not to take anything away from Kendrick, but I think it's like, yo, what this?
Let me tell you this.
Like, let's go get him.
Let me say this to you.
Now, I'm proud of you, my guy. Like, let's go.
Let me say this to you. I just said Euphoria changed the waves. I completely forgot he did that, and I think Drake also helped, because that did not age well.
Drake really helped, bro.
As much as I loved it, a lot of people thought it was distasteful. A lot of people.
You're right.
Yo, you don't respect this culture, do you? You know, that was Martin's point, and I still think it was creative. I also wouldn't have done it. So,
I'm not going to continue admitting that I still think it's creative, because I'm not going to be that guy in the conversation.
No, but it definitely was. It probably was his biggest misstep this battle. Probably egging him on in the Tupac voice is the worst thing you could have done. And you know what? Bad self-awareness. You have his ring,
and then and then you bought the ring, bro. Like, like you really
gave him the ammo
for a loss.
Yeah.
All Kendrick had to do was just talk about it. You gave, if there's anybody who gave a blueprint to beat Drake, was Drake. Like, forget Joe Budden. Drake made the blueprint, bro.
And Drake ain't been in Oakland since.
That Oakland show gonna be your last stop, brother. Yeah, he definitely did.
That's not what he says.
Yeah, that's not. I'm not doing that.
Oh
well. You're not me, sir.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get why Budden said that, but I do know that Drake did a number on himself, bro. Like, he did himself dirty.
He did a number 2.
He did poop on himself.
Is that here? Drake, when he saw the Kendrick Lamar Narcos music video.
Fighting for my life.
I'm fighting for my life. Yo, killing me with this.
Is that Gayle King? That's Gayle King, right?
Yeah, it is.
He did that with Gayle King, right?
Yeah, Gayle King. Drake watching Kendrick do the pop out and Juneteenth are dropping out like us on Independence Day.
It's It's crazy.
He was doing push-ups, destroying an owl, pinata, crip walking with Whitney, and it ends off with a shot of an owl in a cage. I know Drake mad. Yo, also directed by Dave Free in big letters.
Also, what I actually one big takeaway from this is that I learned, and this is something all the great artists do, like Eminem, like Jay-Z.
Yo, you really not gonna let that
Drake,
go, huh?
like Drake himself, because Drake at the time that he was a great artist, he was. I say in past tense because time will tell.
Yeah,
we learned something that he did something that all the great artists do, which is pay attention to everything. Like, you might think he's not online. That man got a burner account where he follows 20,000 people.
Yeah.
Because, doing push-ups in the video means you were in the depths of Black Twitter, because they were like, yo, that's a dude that just does push-ups at the park. Like, like that was something they were saying. And then he did the push-ups in the video. Like, you know how in tune you are to the culture to do that? That man is like really of the culture and just keeps his eyes on everything.
He went and then he went to that corner, that spot. That spot that he went to in the music video reminds me of like Crown Fried Chicken or Kennedy Fried Chicken.
That's Taz Burgers. He talks about Taz Burgers early in his career. He's like I think he seen his first murder at Taz Burgers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So never mind that. I thought it was a chicken spot. That's what it looked like to me at first.
Nah, that's a Compton staple.
One of my favorite scenes was obviously the Kendrick, Whitney, and the kids part. That was perfect. Like literally on point, where he was like, and he's like, if she's like crip walking, he a fan, like doing all, I was like, oh man, like you really like.
And I think
really did that.
I think they lined it up at a part where he's talking about like expose the liar or something like that, right?
Yeah.
He's and then he did the Family Matter, and as soon as he says Family Matter, you see him with his family. Like I was just like, oh my gosh, the creativity on this joint.
Or the fact that the girl was on a tightrope dancing, and the background was the kind of the same background as Nothing Was the Same.
Yeah. Wait, it was Nothing Was the Same, or I heard Views. Am I bugging?
Nah, that's not Views. That's Nothing Was the Same.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I think someone said Views in a chat that I was in.
Views is him on top of that tower.
Right. Okay.
Nothing Was the Same is the sky background with Drake's face.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And if you got the deluxe edition, it'll be like his baby face.
The only person, this is what Martin said, the only person that Drake fans should be mad at is Drake. He made y'all think well, not this part, but yeah, the first that he made y'all think about bars is about height and small feet would be enough to win the biggest battle in hip-hop history. Kendrick out-rapped him, outsmarted him, and out-lied him, and outright beat him at his own game.
That's another thing. I don't really think that Kendrick lied.
I don't think so either.
Because everybody's staying on this this PDF file thing, but these allegations existed way before this battle. I mean, there's a YouTube video where he's like, "I love the way your breasts feel. I'm 14."
Yeah. And then he proceeds to kiss her. Yeah,
that's wild, bro. That's crazy. Did you guys see? Okay, do you guys know the scene in Not Like Us where he's looking up at the camera? He has a hoodie on and a hat on. I think it was like a blue hoodie or something like that. Did y'all remember that scene? He's looking up. It's actually right before he starts crip walking on the hopscotch.
Yeah.
What is he doing?
Huh?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So remember that scene? All right. So there's a meme out there where there's a guy wearing the same outfit, and it's like a guy yelling out a window, and he's like his hair whack, his clothes whack, whack. They said that they did that on purpose. Like Kendrick did that on purpose to kind of mimic that whole, like, I hate the way that you walk, I hate you talk the way that, like to kind of bring that back and utilize that meme to remind us of that.
Oh my gosh, dude!
I wish we could find that joint.
I still think Euphoria. I still think Euphoria is one of the best diss tracks I've ever heard in my life.
Oh, 100%. Never teaching my kids to rise above. Going to teach them to be like Kendrick Lamar. If you're going to hate, you must commit. Employ visuals. Enlist your neighborhood. Call the NBA. Don't stop until everyone is dancing and laughing at you.
laughing with you. Laughing with you.
Laughing with
the
you.
whole world is doing it, bro. The whole world is doing it. Y'all seen a recent picture of Drake and how he was crazy?
He was at why are you playing the sound? He was at Mike Rubin's white party, and they said that Mike Rubin's the DJ who was at Mike Rubin's all white party didn't play not one Kendrick song.
Because Drake was there.
But this battle was also industry versus the culture, right? Like Kendrick don't be going to those all white parties.
Yeah, it's very much so industry versus the culture.
How fitting that he wore all white for this music video then.
Right.
Did he make a premonition? Did he make a premonition about the all white party?
Well, yeah. Wait, he dropped it on July 4th, right?
Yeah.
That's what Mike Rubin be having his all white parties.
Oh, damn.
He has them every year.
He's like, well, I guess I'm not going, but I'm gonna wear my white though.
Yo, this is the I completely agree with this. This is intentionally the hardest part of the Not Like Us video. Didn't even acknowledge any of the Drake claims, just showed you he was a liar. Bro, this part, when I saw this, I was like, oh my gosh. This is like you're playing with the family, she's laughing in the house, like this is home. You know what I mean? This is it right here. And I just, and right when he said the family matter, like it was just so perfect. It's like I've been saying this in a chat that I'm in. It's like Kendrick took every last little bit of the shells that was left in and whatever clip that Drake had and tossed it in the ocean. Like you got nothing left. And Dave Free is part of directing it, bro. This is just crazy, dude. Drake, YG don't like you. Your girl.
I need to figure out what he's gonna do.
And you and Dave Free got mad beef. They probably ain't even. That probably even your baby, Kendrick. Dog.
I honestly think that I'm actually no. You know what? Honestly, I'm gonna say this. More than Kendrick album, I just want to see what's Drake's next move. Like I just really want to see what it is. I have my thoughts. I think he's gonna stay pop for a while. That's my thought. I think he's gonna come out with another pop album, or an album like what's that album called where he was doing all the dance tracks? I forgot the name of it. Honestly, never mind.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I feel like it's gonna be a lot of that. I don't think he's gonna go hip hop. I think he's gonna stay clear of that until it all dies down, and then maybe, just maybe.
Yeah, I think it's interesting to see what the next song does. If the next song doesn't chart, well,
do you think? Because some people was like, "Oh, the beef ain't over. Drake's got to say something." I think Drake stays quiet.
I think he has a good shot of waiting out the Not Like Us, waiting out for people to get tired of Kendrick. Because Kendrick has never been a top artist before. So we don't know how long he'll sustain it. Because typically rappers don't keep the hottest rapper thing for more than a year or two. So then you wait for that to be over and you shoot back. The problem with that is that Kendrick is a maniac. And then like the response might be worse than this one. Because
that's what I'm worried about.
Because I do think he still held on to the most damaging information.
Oh,
because DJ Head, who had been calling everything, said there was more in the clip. If Drake would have got Froggy, because remember, Drake's house got shot up the same week he put out the Heart Part 6, and then he said, I'm done.
Yeah.
And then that week, Not Like Us. Yo, Melissa, have a good night.
Take care,
I
Melissa.
have to get back to
Thank
you.
you
I'm
for
sorry.
joining.
I'm so sorry I haven't get back to you. I'm gonna respond though. I apologize. I've been dealing with a lot lately.
Yeah. And then Not Like Us blows up. All in the same week. This is all the same week. Like Not Like Us dropped, then the Heart Part 6 dropped, then his house gets shot up the next day. It all happened in the same moment. So Kendrick was fully prepared to keep going. He had 5 more records to go. And there was some stuff in there. I think he was gonna tell us that Drake did not write back to back.
Yeah.
I no longer believe that Drake wrote anything that he's ever rapped, guys.
Yeah, I have no trust. I have no trust in
Oh,
anything.
Funk Flex recently came out and said that infamous BlackBerry moment where he's scrolling through the BlackBerry and rapping. He said Funk Flex says that Drake rapped that whole verse to him before, so he just did it to make it look like he wrote it on his BlackBerry.
Oh man.
But Funk Flex is a little clout chaser himself. So.
Yeah, Funk Flex is a little.
Oh man, this would have been a good segue for something I really wanted to talk about. But I feel like we should just chill.
I was thinking we should wrap it up, but what did you want to talk about?
The freshman freestyle, Rich Amari.
Oh,
walking away.
I haven't heard it. Man,
No. Well, no. Did you hear about Rich Amari?
Yeah.
Bouncing he did the photos and all that, and when it came time for him to rap, he said, "I'm not rapping," and then left.
Yeah. Like I'm not a fan of that. I'm not probably because he can't rap. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of that list anymore, man.
All right, so just to put you up to speed, Alive. So the the XXL freshman came out in the 2024 freshman came out recently. It dropped. One of the rappers that's on that list is Rich Amari. He's one of the new artists, right?
Right.
Every year, we've been seeing this since when?
It's not Rich Amiri.
Amiri. I keep saying Amiri. Who cares what his name? I don't know for how long the XXL's been doing the freshman thing.
Yeah,
but I can think as far back as like 2008, 2009, probably it was doing it. And each time they did a cypher, they rapped. They did photos and they rapped. Am I consistent here, Alive?
Yeah.
Every year they came out with something, right?
Yeah.
All right, boom. So it's now 2024. We all know even if you trash and you don't rap, you don't really rap or freestyle like that, you gotta have something ready to go.
Right, yeah.
Each time. Okay. So they had the photo shoot. Everybody knew I gotta have my verse ready for this whole event. Everybody did their photos and everybody rapped except for him. He said, "I'm not doing it. Be easy, I'm out." First rapper in the whole history of XXL to walk out on doing the verse. The rapper that's supposed to rap did not want to rap and walk out.
Like in 14, 15 years. He's the first one to do this. This is crazy.
And what's crazy to me is that it's his, like, they've been trying to get word from his camp, and it's probably like, "Sorry, I'm not sorry. I'm not doing it." He's even made tweets about it already and said, like, "Oh, these guys, XXL is lying, this, that, and the third." But everybody, even the XXL freshmen, can vouch for the fact that this is what happened, and the man walked off the set. My question is,
why did they keep him?
Why do they keep the man? They should have took his photos out.
So many people want that spot. You could easily swap them.
We wanted that spot.
I'll rap right now.
I feel like the
Right
reason like,
now.
I feel like it's crazy that the three of us wasn't even talking about this at all. Like we should have been talking about this offline, but we weren't even talking about it.
I think
my mind is blown because I'm like, yo, I remember XXL freshman and being like on the cover, and I'm like, yo, I see myself doing this.
it was a different XXL cover back then, though. You had J. Cole would be on the cover. You'd have Blue on the cover.
Mac Miller too, right?
A little bit. I'm not sure. Was he on the cover?
I think he was.
He was in one of them joints, one of those covers, for sure. Like we would have been all in that class, and I get where you're coming from, but I feel like that joint, it kind of left a tinge in my heart, just a tad bit, because I'm like, bro, like this is an opportunity. Like
my favorite class was the 2009 class, and that class had Wale, Currency, Charles Hamilton, Blue, Corey Guns, Nicky Facts, B.O.B. Yeah. My computer won't load, so I can't tell you who else. Oh, Wiz Khalifa was on that one too, right?
That's crazy.
Why am I
all of them rap? All of them rap.
Phone that works.
Yo, dang,
like I don't know, man. Like these, but I heard some of the previews. The only preview that I like was the young lady. What's her name, man? Banks. Nia Banks.
I like a few of them, but I'm just not excited for it.
But what's the girl? What's the slim girl? And her last name, I think, is Banks. Like Nia Banks.
Lay Banks or something like that.
Yeah, yo, her verse.
Yo, listen to this. Listen to the 2010. This is a different animal, man. 2010 is J. Cole, Pill, Nipsey Hussle, Freddie Gibbs, Big Sean, Wiz Khalifa, OJ the Juice Man, J-Rock, because people forget that J-Rock was the front man for TDE.
He was supposed to be the front man. It was supposed to be Kendrick. I remember that.
And for Sean, you know, he's lost now, but that boy can rap. For Sean and Donis. That was a different time, man.
Wow.
Yeah. No, it was.
Things changed in 2016. 2016 is when things started going downhill for the XXL freshmen, in my opinion.
Jeez, man.
That's when the Lil Uzi Vert, 21 Savage, I think those were the guys.
Yo, the 2008 one. The 2008 one is weird because a lot of these dudes, it wasn't their first year. The 2008 one is so strange. It's Lil Boosie, Lupe Fiasco, Plies, Joel Ortiz, Saigon, Rich Boy, Gorilla Zone, Young Dro.
They old. Those old people. They were old back then.
Yeah, I heard my first Crooked Eye verse in like 98, dogs. Like, what is this?
But it goes to show you that you know, that you just gotta keep grinding. But yeah, but that's the thing, like as somebody who wanted to be on that cover, and as there's other people on that, I know there's other people that would kill for that cover. Like somebody like Frank Knight would kill for that cover, bro. Or Architect. Like these guys out here killing it right now.
Yo, but look,
somebody this list like Lish would want to have that.
This list don't really mean much anymore because look at the 20. I'm gonna read you the 2019 list, and it don't got that star power that the list I just read you did. It's the 2019 is Comethazine, Tierra Whack, The Baby, Lil Mosey, Roddy Ricch, Corday, YK Osiris, Rico Nasty, Gunna, Blueface, and Meg Thee Stallion.
It's not that bad though.
No, it wasn't that bad.
It
didn't prove my point at all.
As you kept going, I was like, well,
I mean, some of these guys, most of these guys kind of went they're going triple platinum.
Yeah.
Who's the most successful there? Gunna and Meg?
I mean, Roddy Ricch was pretty successful.
Yeah, you're right. So
he got a good comeback. He's been doing a good comeback. He was on the pop out. You know what I'm saying?
This dude Corday is rapping with Nas. Like none of them are
that
guy. Yeah, I know. Y'all don't like Corday.
I mean,
he's
let me do
good. Started dating that tennis player. I don't know.
Let me do my 2022 one. 2022 is Babyface Ray, Big Skull, Big 30, Cochise, Doechii, Kai, K-Sai, Ken the Man, Nardo Wick, Saucy Santana, Sofago, and Baby Tron.
There you go. There you go.
Order with-
There you go. That right there. That right there.
Who
I
was
don't remember
that?
any of them people except for Dochi, whatever her name is, and
Nah, Baby Tron is nice. Baby Tron nice.
Baby Tron is nice too. But and Saucy Santana, I remember, but only for the mess he be making.
Wait. How can we not talk about the #1 song in hip hop right now?
What's that?
You know
Nah,
what it
that's-
is. Nah.
Oh, that's what you want. You wanted to talk about.
It's Baby Tron, Big Sean, and who else is on Toby?
Oh,
yeah,
Marshall Mathers?
yeah.
Who's
We
on
didn't
top?
talk about
It's
that.
Baby Tron, Big Sean, and
Oh,
who's
that
on the
guy.
smashed record?
Wow.
Martin, do you know?
For the second time.
Yeah,
this
man,
year.
I do.
Who? Who is it?
One of the most really good rappers I know.
One of the goodest rappers.
one of the goodest rappers I know.
One of the bestest. The bestest I ever did see. You young whippersnapper.
Is it a guy by the name of Eminem?
Yeah, man. Great.
You know, the one
Awesome.
Who, the one who was
Is
in
it
my
really number one, though?
campaign last
Nah, I don't know if it's #1, but
in 2018.
but Houdini is like #4. So I think that Toby will come in at like #1 because I think this record is way better.
Yeah, this record is absolutely way better than Houdini.
By the way, did y'all know that the hot rap song Billboard chart is now you have to pay to see it? So I can't tell you what's #1.
You know, people.
That is insane.
Dang. Wow. That's wild.
Just trying to keep that joint like trying to make money no matter what.
Nine
Nobody care about
is
it.
Marshall Mathers. I'm just a regular guy. I don't know what the fuss about me. Fuss
That was a good
about
time.
me. That was a good song.
That was a good period of music. Right there.
So I heard that he subliminally took shots at some rappers in his caliber.
Yeah, I think people are.
No. We gotta talk about it.
Guessing it.
No, they weren't. No, they weren't. He's only talking about one person.
Jay.
Who?
Ew. He's been featured on many records and has murdered many people.
Who did they put in above him on lists?
Jay?
Bro, it's Jay-Z. He talking about Jay-Z. He's talking about Jay-Z. He's dissing Jay. Yo, Jay. Marshall Mathers was talking about you, man.
That I don't think it was.
That's a guy that's worthy to come out of the cave for. I agree.
I'll tell you what, that would be an interesting battle.
That's like Donald Trump versus Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Now that
I think that would be interesting.
But the Renegade Eminem don't exist anymore, so I don't know if he can hang.
Yeah, but the same Jay don't exist anymore either.
You watch your mouth. He killed that Jay Electronica album. You watch your
Yeah,
mouth.
if he could do what he did on the Jay Electronica album,
you watch your
He's murdering
mouth.
that.
But we have a lot more in recent years of him doing like, it was alright type of verses.
Yo, but I gotta say, as much as
what verse you talking about?
Nah, chill.
don't listen to the man. He don't know what he's talking about.
All right.
Please tell me where. Because even on 444,
I don't remember nothing.
even on 444, even though it's like maybe one of his weakest albums,
Must be a Joe thing.
but he was barring people up.
Yeah, and on the Jay Electronica
Legacy.
album too. He basically got a collab album with Jay Electronica, and that's some of the best rapping I ever heard from Jay. Period.
And killed Jay Electronica every time.
More hopeful was just saying things that are outlandish sometimes. Kill Jay
I agree.
Electronica.
I agree. Maybe it is outlandish. But
Kill Jay
I heard
Electronica
that said
a few times.
Every time.
Kill Jay
At least
Electronica.
flow wise every time.
Kill Jay Electronica a few times. Not every time.
I don't have
You
to
know-
hear that album again. I heard it
You
like
know.
3 times.
There was
But
one guy in there that was representing for the Nation of Islam, and there was one guy in the representative for the Nation of Gods and Earth, and it was like they was battling for ideologies in that joint. It was such a beautiful album for me.
Low key, a very slept on album. But yeah, I'm sorry, Joe. Like I can't think of a verse where Hove.
It don't exist. Hove is Hove.
Come on, like the verse he had with him and Nas, where they were on that track on what's his name's track?
Black Republicans?
No, I like Black
Success?
Republicans. Yes, Success was mid. That
From 2007?
No, that's the one on
DJ Khaled.
Oh, my fault.
That's not Success.
Oh, that's not Success. What is that? What's the name of that track?
I don't know. It wasn't Success.
We were complaining
that track wasn't successful.
No, it was not. And then he had another track on
Nah, he had a record where he gave us like a 30-bar clip and it was fire.
That was on.
Are you talking about the other DJ Khaled track?
Yeah, that's
Green is on the same track.
God did. Yeah, he smoked. God did.
Yeah, I think you're.
And that's
you didn't say that at the time.
What? We all said it at the time.
No, I thought it was great, but I don't remember Jay. You said that he smoked that.
The only thing we thought was that his flow was off.
Yeah, I was gonna say that his flow is not as
pristine. So maybe that was what. Am I still in the
denial? Yeah. No, you're the reason Kyle hates Eminem, bro. It's people like you.
People like me. It's people like you.
No.
It's 100% people like you.
We compare. So hold on. Let me ask you a question, Kyle. Please try not to catch an aneurysm in this one. So if we put Eminem and Jay-Z next to each other, you think Eminem got a chance?
No, I don't think so. Not this Eminem, no.
Legacy-wise, do you think Eminem is in the same conversation?
Legacy-wise, no. It's gonna be Jay. It's gonna be Hove anytime. Every time.
Let me ask my lack of melanin front over there.
No,
is it?
Yes. Well, you know, I am 16%.
We're gonna take that
because it's not close, and that bar is ridiculous.
2020.
If that bar is for Jay-Z, it's ridiculous because it's not close, dog. You had 3 great albums. You were one of the greatest rappers for like 4 years.
I don't think it's that obvious that it's about Jay-Z.
For like 4 years, Jay-Z held it down for way more. You held it for 10.
Yeah, no.
And here we go. You ready for a hot take? Here's my hot take.
I don't think
you don't have a black album.
Yeah. I thought you were. I got confused because he's white.
You don't.
Kiss Marshall Mathers.
You heard what he said?
What?
He said, I said, you don't have a black album. He said, I got confused because he's
white. Wow.
I thought you were saying because I forgot Jay-Z dropped the black album. I was like, yeah, of course he don't got a black album.
You don't got a black album.
Well, I'll be real. If we take, listen, if we take their whole discography, I'm taking Reasonable Doubt at 1. I'm putting Reasonable Doubt at 1. I'm putting Blueprint at 2. I'm putting Black Album at 3, and then I'm including the Marshall Mathers album.
Yeah, no, I am not.
And then it might take 4 for 4, and then
what about American Gangster? That's a good album.
I think I'm taking all M's albums before I'm taking American Gangster.
Okay, maybe.
But I'm definitely taking 444 over the Eminem Show and Slim Shady LP.
Nah, yo, American Gangster. I feel like you hating on like Gangster right now.
American Gangster is
that's the joint that got Hello Brooklyn. Yeah, I'm cool.
Yeah.
That's like the only weak song on there.
Yeah, that's the only one.
That's the only
you mentioned the only song that I skip on that whole album. Everything else is repeatable.
That's the only track that's skippable, bro.
Yeah. You know what I don't like about American Gangster? I'm gonna tell you.
What I don't like either? Blue Magic. I'm not a fan of Blue Magic.
Nah, Blue Magic is fine. You bugging.
Kind of wild.
You know what I don't like about American Gangster is that it was the way he presented it to me, right? He was
I thought it was the soundtrack to American Gangster, the movie.
So it was that's the way it was. It was presented to me, right? It was like he just dropped Kingdom Come. First of all, he retired, right? And then he let Lil Wayne be him. Lil Wayne cloned him. We're gonna talk about that one day. how the moment that Jay-Z retired, Lil Wayne was like, "Ooh, I'm gonna rap exactly like Jay-Z." So he lets
Bugging.
you don't think okay, shut up. You're no longer you're not allowed to have an opinion on this podcast no more. Because if you don't think that Lil Wayne went in and bit Jay-Z's whole style during his run while Jay was gone, you're bugging. The Carter 2 is basically the Southern Blueprint. Anyway.
It's true though.
Anyway.
I'm not saying you're wrong.
Like even the beats was sampled. Everything was like production wise.
Anyway,
that was the blueprint.
So he drops Kingdom Come, and Kingdom Come bothered me because it was on the cusp of being great. Like it was there. Like Jay was still Jay, but like some of those songs were just like
it wasn't good. Yeah.
No, the he was good. It was the beat. It was like, who let you rap on this? No Hook was crazy.
Nah, but that Oh My God beat, Just Blaze is a monster, bro.
The Show Me What You Got beat, right?
That Oh My God.
Show Me What You Got, and then there's
was it called My God?
My God. Yeah, it was. You're right.
I don't remember that beat.
No.
I feel like I'm dying. Yo, see now I gotta go find that joint.
But yeah, I wasn't a big fan of the beats on that album. And then it was like, oh, because I matured. Remember, like that was his thing.
Kingdom Come, that beat was fire too.
Remember, like that it was the 30-something was his thing now. He's like, I'm like 30's
the new 20, brother. I'm so hot still. Yeah.
He was doing his grown man rap, and then the way it was presented was like, I could still make a gangster album because I'm making it from the lens of Frank Lucas. And it was just the Jay-Z album. Like, it was just Jay. You just made Reasonable Doubt for the 2000s. That's all you did. Like.
And it was beautiful.
I'm lying to me, dog.
It's great.
Like.
It was beautiful. What's my
No Hook. American Gangster. No Hook was fire.
Gangster, my fault. I meant Prelude when I said that earlier about the track.
Prelude was fire. That beat was fire.
On Kingdom Come?
Yes.
Nah, you bugging.
Verse
Prelude was dope.
Fire.
Nah, you bugging. You bugging.
The Kingdom Come is not a complete.
You thought Prelude was whack?
Stand on
as a beat, yeah.
But yes. Kingdom Come is still a good album. It's still a good album. I'll take American Gangster over it, obviously. But like, what's that song? The Fallen.
Messed up his beats.
Oh, that was a dope.
Oh, that beat was fire.
Oh,
yeah, that joke.
I love. Oh no! I know. Oh my gosh, yo! Every time I know drops.
Yeah, guys, I just listened to Oh My God. I didn't really like Oh My God like that. I didn't like Lost One like that. I thought the 30-something beat was like.
What about the joint with John Legend?
Do you want to ride? Nah, dog.
I love that song.
Dig a Hole might be one of the worst beats I've ever heard that man rap on.
I forgot about Dig a Hole.
Dig a Hole was terrible.
Also, low
what
key.
About Trouble?
I don't remember Trouble. But I was gonna say low key Minority Report and 30-something and Lost Ones all felt like it was made the same day. Like, I don't know, man.
It probably was the same day.
I think you're bugging, but American Gangster is an excellent album. Anyway,
but Kingdom Come way better than every album that Eminem has dropped after Eminem Show. Like,
yeah, no, I'll give it. Look, I wasn't gonna argue that Eminem is better than Jay by any scope. I wasn't gonna argue that his legacy. What I would argue is that his legacy. I feel like it's two different types of legacies, but Jay's legacy obviously is the strongest. Jay's legacy obviously is the most influential in all of that. I'm not taking it away from that. I just don't think I don't think it's like crazy to say that. Well, I think it's crazy to say like something like, oh, they're not even the same caliber type of thing. I don't know if I feel like that's a stretch. But yeah, Jay wins out. Yes, absolutely. So I wasn't, just to be clear.
Yo, Ryan Garcia is bugging. I'm sorry. Bad Baby, the Catch Me Outside girl, she just posted and deleted stories of like domestic abuse from her baby daddy and stuff. And Ryan Garcia, I don't know if you want to share it, but Ryan Garcia is a is a menace. He
We didn't
he
talk
said
about 22.
he said, "I got you, Danielle. Just let me catch that guy outside." Like, like what's wrong with you, dog? This is a serious situation, man.
This dude is a boxer, right?
Yeah, he's the one who's like mad racist. When he said, N words don't like the ER, but N words send N words to the ER. And so then he got suspended or he got
That's
banned
a
from.
bar. That's a bar.
That joint got him banned from boxing. He's not allowed to box no more. Banned him from boxing.
Yo, if you got bars
Wait, he
that ban
did?
you from boxing, bro, you gotta start rapping, man. The bars are hitting harder than your punches, man.
No, because you can't just say that, bro. Like as a Hispanic person, you just can't say the N word and then say the hard R N word. You can't say the hard R N word, dog.
He said, yo, if they don't like the N word with the ER, I'll put some of the N words to the ER.
Now we gonna get sent. We gonna get banned from boxing.
It's like I wish I wrote that.
Oh my god! Oh man, that's
I thought of
hilarious.
that
bro.
one.
Yo, he said, let me catch them outside. Yo, that's crazy, man. That's not right. That's not nice. That's not good. She's out here spilling her heart out.
Yo, why can't I send nothing to this?
Disingenuous thing.
Like a half hour.
Oh, man.
Amber, what up? Good to see you.
I think she left. Because she
Probably
texted
did.
me, is that the right link? Like 20 minutes ago. I sent you it if you want to share it. I sent you it real quick so we could do a little mini segment real quick.
All right. Just be aware we
We ain't finished yet? Oh man.
We didn't touch on Adam 22. Pause.
Oh man. Scratch that.
Unless you want to do, why don't we do it? Is wait, hold up, because Kyle, you got work in the morning, right?
Yeah.
Adam
I
22.
I can leave and y'all can continue.
So Adam 22 and then we out.
Okay, I'm done with that.
Yeah, all right.
Just make it quick.
Consider.
Pause.
Wow. You might be gay.
Who, Kyle might be gay?
No, I'm just being funny. I would never say that about Kyle.
All right. Oh, this
Yo,
one
this
don't
guy
got none of the
makes-
videos?
Yo, this guy Adam 22 makes me sick, bro.
This one don't got no videos?
I don't know. It's the one you sent. Let me see.
Oh, what an idiot I am. Oh, we do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Go
Not
back.
an
Go back.
idiot anymore.
Okay, cool. You gotta use positive words when we talk about ourselves. All right. So Adam 22.
Go ahead.
Adam 22 recently said that he got rid of like a lot of shows and fired some people because he said it didn't make any business sense. So he was going to work on getting like more impactful interviews for the culture, like a DJ Vlad does, right? Or like how Academics does. And then he goes out and he gets the man who was involved in Pop Smoke's murder and interviews him. And according to DJ Academics, because I didn't have this information before, according to DJ Academics, when Adam was negotiating with Blockstar, who is the young man in that picture, Blockstar's team told him that Academics was offering a higher amount to interview him, which insinuates that Adam paid for this interview. And Academics went back and told him, nah, I'm not offering anything. I would not interview him. And Academics has the high morality to not interview him. And Adam just said, okay, and then paid him for this interview. And then we could listen to some of the things that was said by this man who's a young man because he was charged as a juvenile. And the murder happened in 2019 or 2020. 2020.
Yeah.
Well, you said in your short that I wanted to ask you this. You said that he wasn't the trigger man?
He keeps insinuating that he was not the trigger man.
Yeah, and he's not saying who was. Apparently, it was they didn't target Pop Smoke on purpose. They broke into his house to do a robbery. and it went wrong. They thought no one was home, and then he ends up dead. But he doesn't talk about who the trigger man is. Wait, but how does that make sense?
What do you mean?
He was just involved. He was.
Yeah, he was one of the guys who
He's
who
one
broke,
of the thieves
who broke into the house with
But
the day that Pop Smoke.
okay, so he doesn't admit to being the murderer.
He does not. He does not say he's the trigger man. He actually insinuates that he wasn't the trigger man.
But at the same time, he was charged with and juvenile with.
Well, they all were.
Right.
Everybody in that home invasion was charged. There's an adult right now facing life from that
Okay,
situation.
So okay. This is not going to go well for him in court then. If he
Let's get to the. He's done. He's done. He. So in California, if you a juvenile and you get charged as a juvenile, you just do juvenile life, and then when you hit, I think it's 21 to 25, they let you go.
Oh, okay.
Go to some of the videos. Listen to some of
But
the
I
stuff.
ain't
that he
sorry.
said.
Feel me? Like if I could go back, I'll go back. But I ain't sorry. Like, die every day. Like he was rapping about it, all type of shit. So I ain't sorry about it. But you know, I send my condolences to the family, and I wish it never happened. But
So do you regret going to the Airbnb that night?
I don't regret nothing. But I wish I never had. Yeah.
But when you say you're not sorry, well, you just seems like you're acting like this is just the circle of life. This is how it happens.
No, it's not. I'm not making it a small thing. It's just, I don't know, growing up, my people, my family told me, you ain't sorry for shit. Like whatever you did it for a reason. I'm not sorry about nothing. You know, it's never a reason, and stand on it. So it's like, yeah, I did it. But it wasn't like we all went to go do that. So start making me feel like, so I feel like people need to start making me feel like I got something to like, I owe something to somebody. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for a reason, and stand on it.
So yeah.
Now, some context. Adam was talking to Whack 100 maybe a week ago, and they was talking about Blockstar, and Adam was talking about interviewing him, and he was saying that you know, he doesn't know. You can pause it because it's like it moves.
Sorry, yeah, my fault.
But he was asking if he felt like Blockstar was worried for his life or whatever, because he's moving with 3 bodyguards, 3 security dudes. So this really bothers me. And also when Adam had Munchie B on his podcast, yeah, I consume a lot of No Jumper content. When he had Munchie B on the pod, he was telling Munchie that he don't know if he should interview him because of the backlash he's gonna get because that's Pop Smoke's killer or whatever, allegedly. And Munchie B, well, that's something you should consider. Well, I guess he went in, considered it, and thought this would work. And he had no care in the world about this dude's well-being. And the idea that if I don't interview him, someone else will. I don't like that idea because other people weren't. You know, Academics wasn't going to interview him. And Academics said something interesting. Yo, you know you in a messed up world or in a messed up situation where Academics is the voice of reason. And this is what Academics said. He said if this kid, the only thing he's known for right now in this world is for getting busy and being in a situation where they knock down Pop Smoke. If he gives him a platform and he gives him clout, other kids are going to watch his video. Other people, young people, are going to watch his video and go, well, how can I get on Academics' platform? Well, I should knock down the rapper. If I knock down the rapper, I don't got to rap. I don't have to have a podcast. I don't have to say anything with meaning. I don't have to go viral. I got to bust my gun, knock somebody down that's famous, and I now got a platform. And I'm sure a lot of people watched that No Jumper interview and went, man, all I got to do is knock somebody down and I can get a No Jumper interview. Now I'm on the Shade Room. I'm on Hollywood Unlocked. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
I thought about it and I was like, yo, Academics got a good point.
That's crazy.
Disgusting. That's disgusting.
Yeah, man. It's about that time that that we like. No one should support this man. This gotta be he's a menace, bro. Adam 22 is a menace, bro. He has to be stopped.
I think. And who's the dude sitting with him?
Oh, that's his co-host. He pays him. I forget his name. He's like one of them dudes that's like really into like street stuff. He's like a trap Law Ross, but like less corny.
And it's so crazy because I feel like Adam 22 has an opportunity to make a really great platform where he does shed light for certain things, but it's like he instigates it.
Yo, I saw him say something that irked my soul, bro.
I don't think
he can make good content because he said something that irked my soul, man. And there's something else I noticed too. He was interviewing two former Italian mafia dudes, and they're white. And the way he talks to them is so different than how he talks to black guests and Hispanic guests. It's super more respectful, you know. And we're talking about two guys who used to be mafia dudes. They knocking stuff down too. They shoot and they're basically Italian gangbangers. If you're in the mafia, you're an Italian gangbanger. You part of one of the families and you with the business. And he says something, and I might clip it because it viscerally, I didn't like it. It made my stomach turn. He said that people blame him for giving people a platform to talk about stuff. And he's specifically talking about black gang members when he says it. And he goes, I just think that's victim mentality stuff. He's like, I think that's that victim mentality. I think they was not going to like each other whether I let them have that interview or not have the interview. Like they was killing each other before I did the interview. But I don't think he's not stupid. He understands that he's amplifying situations. He knows that his interviews have dire consequences in these communities. He's not dumb. And I think knowing that, I also think this is a new low for him. This is a guy who pimps his wife. You know, he had a dude smash her on camera. It did super well. It was one of the most successful things he did. So then he went and grabbed another dude and smashed her again with another dude together. They tag teamed his wife. He has a daughter with that woman. You know what I mean? And I think this is a new low though. I think this is the lowest he's ever been. And I think at the core, Adam 22 is a racist. And I don't think that's hard to say. I don't think that's like a blanket state. Like for you to go, oh, I don't understand why they're mad at me for giving people platforms. And he's probably talking about this situation right here because probably people was in his head because this all happened within the same 2 weeks. People probably in his ear telling him, don't do this interview. Don't do this interview. You know, Lil Durk just told J-Mane, yo, we are really close to having peace in Chicago, but dudes like Adam get in the way. Lil Durk said that.
Wow.
And this and that's what he said. He's like, yo, they blame me, but this existed before me. And it's like, no, dog, they blame you because you do stuff like this.
Yeah.
You do stuff like if Pop Smoke is one of my loved ones, honestly, I could see why you would be mad at the people who are responsible with his death. But I'd be more mad at the guy who just did this for the views, who paid for him to come on here for the views.
And you could tell that this guy he's going through some weird, like he's talking about how his family taught him to not be sorry and not regret nothing. But he's speaking double speak. Like he's literally like,
yes,
I'm not sorry, but I'm sorry. I'm, my condolences to his family, but I'm not sorry. He turns around, he says like, I don't regret nothing. But going back, I probably wouldn't have wanted to do that.
Well, he's a
It's like
gangbanger.
he's going through like it's like he has to unlearn that side of him. And he's psychologically trying to sift through it all. And you're just making it worse for him. He said, I just wish people could stop like acting like they were there or something like he said. But I paraphrased it like, I just wish people could just stop treating me like I did something like I did something wrong, even though you know that he did do something wrong. Like you really don't know the whole story. You really don't know what happened.
Also early in this interview, when they do the background stuff, he's self-aware of why he acts out. He tells not to make excuses for him, but he was tried as a juvenile for a reason. He was a juvenile when this happened.
Yeah.
So he is a victim in some aspects. And a lot of juveniles in inner city communities are victims.
Are all
to the older homies.
They're not perpetrators. They're victims.
Yeah. To the older homies being like, yo, come through. Come with us on this mission. You know what I'm saying? And he says one of the reasons he acts out, that he thinks he acts out why he got anger issues, is because his dad was in and out of jail. And he's a Hoover. He's a Hoover Crip. They're one of the most hated gangs in LA. I mean, all the gangs got enemies. So they all probably one of the most hated. They all got enemies. They all got people gunning for them. But now he's a trophy in his hood. Now, if you take him out, he's somebody that they know.
Right.
He's a trophy in his hood without a means of resources to get out. And now you just put his face on the word. Like, man, yo, Adam is.
I was gonna actually put that out. It's like, yeah, he's partly responsible for the death of Pop Smoke, right? But then, at the same time, he was a juvenile. He has no chance of you put. I was just gonna mention that you putting his face out there. Like a lot of people probably didn't know who he looked like. A lot of people didn't. And then also, like, he's coming out here and saying what he said. Dude, I could see a lot of people like that ride for Pop Smoke not appreciating anything that he's saying right now. And thinking there's only one way to teach this kid a lesson. There's only one way that he's gonna be sorry.
But I hope this video,
putting him on Front Street.
I hope this video could make it to some of these guys. And I just want to say, please have in consideration that this man was a juvenile.
Right.
He is also from a neighborhood where some of the mentality that he's taught, like Martin said, he has to unlearn. It's not beneficial. It's toxic. Yeah. And the real person who's a problem is the 40-year-old man who wants to cosplay as a gangster on the podcast. He calls himself the Big 22ster sometimes. You know what I mean? That's the guy you should have an issue with. And I'm not saying go do anything to him. But if you are going to do something to somebody, don't let it be the person who's a victim of his environment and circumstances. Yeah. Now, listen, he got to pay for what he did one day. You know, whatever part he played in that, we all, whatever happens when you out of this world, you pay for whatever what you believe in, you pay for, right? And it, like Kyle said, he looked like he's conflicted. It looks like he's having a hard time living, honestly, with what he did.
Yeah,
to be honest. And you got to pay for that.
He doesn't look comfortable with himself.
Right. The big problem though is that guy over there. And you know, I said it in the short. He's also at the same time instigating a Norteño Sureño beef. He had a guy by the name of Bands, who's a Norteño rapper. Mind you, No Jumper is in the heart of Sureño land. It's in Los Angeles. That's where the Sureños are. There's a divide between northern Mexicans and southern Mexicans in California, and they beef heavy. They beef heavy. And the northern Mexicans and the southern Mexicans are Norteños and Sureños. And he had a Norteño come down, and he had a Norteño diss Sureños on his platform. And then after leaving, he shot a video in one of the Sureños' hood, dissing them in that hood in Los Angeles, and then went back up to Oakland, went back to San Francisco, wherever he's from, Stockton. I'm not sure where he's from. Santa Rosa, I think, actually. And then the Sureños and the Norteños beefing again. And I think if anybody gets Adam straight, it'll be the Mexicans, because they are super organized. When they shot the American Me movie, and a certain organization in prison didn't like the way they was being depicted, a few people died in the production of that movie. And the guy who's making that movie, what's his name? The Mexican dude, John Olmos, I think is his name. He had to walk around with security because they're a little bit more organized on that side. And I think.
I feel like sorry to cut you, but I feel like what you're saying makes a lot of sense because I remember when we first was covering Adam 22, and the guy that almost got Adam 22 all the way together was a Mexican gangster.
Yeah,
it was American Cholo and Bozo.
Yeah. They were gonna get him.
Studio.
They were gonna get him.
Yeah.
Bro.
So you're right. If there's anybody that's gonna set him straight or
because I think unfortunately
it's gonna be that.
I think unfortunately in LA the way the gang structure is, the black gangs, they're just too divided. There isn't even like one Crip car. There isn't even one Blood car. You know what I mean? They beef with each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Pyru's beef with the Treetop Pyru's beef with the Fruittown Pyrus. The Rolling 60 Crips beef with the A-Tray Gangster Crips, and they both of them beef with the Hoovers. So, yeah, there's not a lot of
Mexicans.
What happened?
With the Mexican gangs, it's not like that.
The Mexican gangs all beef with each other,
right?
But there's one power that they all answer to, because there's one body that unites them in prison.
Oh,
so
interesting. Wow.
Now I don't say their name out loud.
Yeah.
I don't say the organization's name out loud. That ain't for me to tell you who they is.
Right.
But they are very organized. And Adam, I'm not saying that that's where I wanted to come from. I'm just saying, you know that Kendrick line, how many ops is too many options?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adam, you getting there, buddy. You getting there. It could come from anybody. It could come from New York. It could come from the Mexicans. It could come from the Insanes. It could come from the trades. It could come from the neighborhoods. It could come from anybody because you are just out here. It could come from Chicago. Just pot stirring.
This is, I don't know. I'm still baffled that he gets away with it. I'm just baffled. I don't get it, man.
I found out is because he walks around with a 6'5" Compton Crip. A 6'5" Compton Crip is a security guard. So at all, like almost at all times, he got a 6'5" Compton Crip dude with a gun, just walking around with him.
And I don't know. Why won't he turn around and pop him? Just that's hard.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That is a question.
No, that is the question though. Like why are you allowing it? And then also
because he's under payroll, he's getting paid.
He's definitely getting paid.
Of course, but it's just why are you still okay with it?
No, but look at everybody else who stays on the platform. But Munchie B is a reputable from Inglewood Family Bloods. He goes on the show.
What?
Munchie B, he's a reputable from Inglewood Family Bloods.
Bro, I thought you said butt in front of that.
And he goes on the show, and he shows Adam love. And Whack 100 he's a Pacoima Pyru blood. He goes on the show, he shows him love. You know what I mean? He got Brick Baby, who was a Rolling 60 Crip. He goes to the show, show him love.
It's just disgusting.
03 Greedo, one of the guys from Grape Street said that Adam sent them books in prison. Said that's really my friend.
I don't know, man.
Fun fact, just so that y'all know, Kendrick Lamar is aware of who Adam 22 is and wants no parts of that platform. He actually so T-Rail left No Jumper. And T-Rail got back on Fig. And we're back on Fig. He co-hosts it with Smack. And Smack got the relationship with Schoolboy Q. Schoolboy Q actually has been on back on Fig. And they mentioned one time that he never did No Jumper because he just didn't like No Jumper. But once they got back on Fig, he was on that platform. I'm saying this to say this, that Smack told T-Rail that he ran into Kendrick at the Pop Out concert, and Kendrick told Smack that the first place he's going once the album is out, the first place he's going to talk is going to be a black media outlet, and it's going to be back on Fig.
Oh, wow.
I love that for two reasons. One, I love that he's going back to his peoples. That's his LA peoples. And my second check, I know he's gonna kill Adam's soul to see the guys he let go get that interview. You know what I mean?
That's it.
How do you know that?
Do it.
How do I know that? I was watching back on Fig when Smack said it.
Yo, that's crazy.
How do you have enough space in your mind to?
I don't know. I'm consumed by the culture.
Well, either way, I think I said what I said, and I don't want to repeat. But
final thoughts.
Much love to the homeboy and the family. I really hope he sifts through his feelings. I really hope he gets therapy. I hope that juvenile is just not the place for inquiring minds. Like he's in a bad spot, and I really just hope that something happens where it'll change his whole perspective on things. I really hope Adam 22 learns his lesson and get about the culture, man, because he's only just making it worse. Though I do want to say this, and I don't know if it's going to continue the conversation in any way. I feel like this is another thing that Kendrick has done by uniting everybody at that pop-out show. Because if he really has no feelings or may have some negative feelings towards No Jumper, he could really set some things in motion. I really hope that Kendrick does more, because I feel like we need it.
I would love culture. I would love that. And I would like to get rid of No Jumper as a platform. And again, I want to just say this: if this finds its ways into somebody who is in Pop Smoke's camp, or anybody who has, intentions of doing something to that young man because of what happened to Pop Smoke, just remember that violence begets more violence. And that at this point, that might just not really be the answer.
Yeah.
But then again, I can't tell you what to do. I've never been in that situation. But the problem I really do think is Adam and people like Adam. But right now it's just Adam. The only people like Adam I see in the world right now is Adam.
Joe about to fall asleep.
No.
Well, thank you for joining the Can't Focus podcast. Whoever is still here is a champion.
Whoever you are out there. Yeah, I just wonder what Pac would do if he saw something like No Jumper going on in his city. I wonder what that. I wonder that.
Do an interview and spit on his face.
He would go to war.
It wouldn't exist. No Jumper wouldn't exist in the Death Row era.
No, he would have went to war. Him, Snoop, Suge, he would have went to war.
All right, I gotta land the plane because I'm using the basement, but the basement is also like a sleepy room for somebody, and they want to go to bed now.
That's a copy. Shalon, shout out to you. You a real one, Shalon. I know you probably with your whole family too, because none of y'all go to sleep. But yeah, we appreciate all of y'all. We thank y'all so much for rocking with us. Please subscribe if you haven't, and hit the bell icon so you get the notifications of when we go live. This will be the channel that we will be going live from now on. And keep an eye on our main channel as well, because we put new content out all the time that sometimes is not on the lives. So we thank y'all so much for rocking with us and being our focus group. I go by the name of Alive. You can find me at Alive Raps.
It's your boy Kano Music at Kano Music.
Yes, sir. It's your boy Martin Hopeful. You can find me at Martin Hopeful.
And you can follow us at Can't Focus POD. This has been the Can't Focus podcast, where we focus on everything and nothing at the same time. But we want to thank y'all so much for taking the time to focus on us. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah.